Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. We do have a couple more people that will be showing up momentarily, just running a little bit behind. But in today's stream, we will be celebrating the fact that Hollywood Studios hit 8,000 subscribers, which is really, really exciting. On top of the fact that Thrill-A-Thon is tomorrow. So really, really excited about that, of course. And am I frozen? It looks like I'm frozen on my screen. I can't tell.
Move your head.
Yeah, I'm frozen. I'm not sure why.
You're frozen.
Oh, well. But joining us tonight, we have Darius, we have Ace, and soon we will have Jack and Sammy joining us as well. So, guys, if you want to just introduce yourselves, go over everything you want to go over, go right ahead.
Alphabetical order. Ace goes first.
Ace Car and Mr. aka Mr. Car. Ace Car on Facebook.
Darius. I'm nerdy by nature on Instagram, just a coaster nerd like everyone else. Dad to two crazy kids, and I think I'm the only one who's hailing from Texas, but originally from New Jersey.
Awesome. I do have a visitor. You guys can't see her, but Munchie the dog really wanted to come in. She's very nosy.
Hey, Munchie.
Yeah, my camera's acting up. Not sure why. Well, all right, we'll get that resolved.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful.
If it barks, has to be on video. It's the rule.
Yeah, it's a happy dog. I tell you, a beautiful dog.
Munchie, come on. Munchie, let's
All right, she's gone. So I'm going to try to fix my camera right now, but in the meantime, if you guys want to discuss what you're excited about for Thrill-A-Thon, go for it.
Go ahead, Darius.
I almost hate to admit it. It's my first Thrill-A-Thon. That's what I'm excited about. I've been to Six Flags Great Adventure I don't know how many times, and I've never been to Thrill-A-Thon. So, and quite honestly, if Colin didn't remind me, I would have missed another one. So, you guys have had the opportunity, but I haven't been on Toro all season. So, another thing I'm excited about. So, first for Thrill-A-Thon and first ride at Toro since it's been reopened. How about you, Mr. Ka?
I'm extremely excited because it's going to be my second Thrill-A-Thon out of 3. Because remember, it started in 2021. And I'm excited about riding out Toro and seeing all y'all faces. Riding for the first time since it's been shut down twice. And the previous years of 21 and 22. So I'm going to be excited to see you guys. Because I've ridden it several times. I even broke my coaster all-time record of 44. Actually, it's 44 with El Toro in one day. So I've never ridden any other coaster in the universe 44 times, except El Toro. It's running a hell of a lot better than it was prior to the renovation. Especially when you get on the non-wheel seats. Seat second, row 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, and 17. So those are great seats. So,
I love the fact that you know the exact seats that don't have wheels.
I call that
somewhere.
The beast treatment, the beast knowledge. 17. If it ain't the first seat or the second seat, the first row or the second row 17 on all of the non-wheel seats of the wooden coasters that have 6 cars, in a train, which is pretty cool. Yeah, you're going to definitely have a lot of fun, and hopefully everything is running sound and smooth tomorrow. Because I know last time... Go ahead.
Totally unrelated to Thrill-A-Thon, I did get a chance to catch up with Jeff Siebert in my home park.
Oh.
That dude's solid, man. Any park, we're lucky enough to have him at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. But just, if you guys haven't been there to see what they're doing to that park, I think in terms of dollar for dollar investment, stretching their dollar as far as they can go. I've not seen a park run that well since I've been doing this, man. He people should be taking lessons from what Siebert's doing.
Yeah. It's the only Six Flags parks that's comparable to the SeaWorld chain and closest to Disney and Universal, the way that man is running it. I like the guy personally. He's a really a sweetheart. And 2020 pandemic lockdown year. He's a nice man, and he really loves. He's endeared and loves that park. I'm gonna tell you, can see it.
Yeah.
The enthusiasm. He likes the fact that when he saw me happy, it made his day. You know, I'll never forget meeting him right in the front of the park, and even at Superman, when he had opened up the rows because you couldn't sit next to each other, so it had to be every other row. And they had a 2468 on the Superman Escape from Krypton. No, he fixed it, and I forgot to write on the front row. So 1357, which was great, and 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a great director. I mean, a great president. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, they're rekindling Wonder Woman. I mean, that was a prototype single rail, and the fact that he's making the investment in getting that thing, you know, from prototype to essentially, you know, Gen 2 Wonder Woman Raptor. Like they're you know, I don't know, like every park president should take things from what Seabird's doing.
Yes. I hope we get our Jeff Seabird at our Forsaken Park, Six Flags America. Places that need it are definitely Six Flags America above all. That place needs some TLC, and they need a president like him. I'm hoping that whatever the new president is, he takes care of it, because that park has a lot of potential. All that land it has. That's so much potential. But I'm happy in the direction. Again, I hopefully get to meet. You're going to meet the park president tomorrow. He's a great man. He kind of reminds me of Jeffrey Seabrook. He really loves our park, and he's shown a lot of enthusiasm. You could even ask Colin and Phil. Wow, this guy, he's on the money. He's just what we needed after John retired. This guy, I like Brian a lot.
Do we think we're gonna get any more update on 24 season?
Maybe
tomorrow we're gonna have a reveal.
That'd be nice to have something.
Maybe a tease, something.
Did you hear him, Colin?
You guys able to hear me?
Go ahead, Darius. You had a question about the reveal.
Okay. This is going to be the temporary setup for tonight because my webcam just decided to die for some reason. So this is what we're going to have to do. Looks like I did miss a super chat while I was gone. John, thank you for the super chat. Excited for tomorrow. Going to be fun. Hopefully get my 2000th ride on Zoo, and most importantly, hanging out with some great friends. Yeah, absolutely. Very, very excited. Let me know. I'm actually going to put a poll in the chat right now. Let me know how many of you guys are going to Thrill-A-Thon tomorrow. We will all be there. Everyone on the stream tonight will be there. So definitely keep your eye out for us. Come say hi. It should be a really, really fun day. Let me just get this up there. Sorry I missed what you guys were saying. What did I miss that was like important or anything like that?
Oh, I was just chatting up with Ace. I got to I think you knew I got to have lunch with Siebert as like a professional courtesy in San Antonio, and I was just like floored at how he thinks about running his park. And you know, if only every park president had A, his enthusiasm, and B, his mind in terms of how he's investing in the park, where he's investing, and why he's investing in the park. Mainly, you know, the thing that kind of caught me off guard was his philosophy on like maintenance and other things. And if you just look at what he's doing with Wonder Woman, the fact that it was first generation prototype of the single rail design, you know, they got a lot of things right. I still think it's one of the craziest compact designs out there, besides Railblazer. And, you know, those things get beat to hell when it's a first generation. And most people, you know, if you look at first generation coasters, they don't last long, right? Like they get torn down or people stop riding them. And he's not made that an option, right? Like brand new trains are coming in, a full refactoring of the track, probably some support work. There's a lot of stuff they're going to do to make sure Wonder Woman stays and people actually want to ride it. So just sharing that. And I don't know if you have any insight, Colin, but when we talked about what we're excited about, I'm hoping we're going to hear a little bit about, you know, the 24 season tomorrow, but maybe that's just me wishful thinking. So
as far as I've been told, we will not be seeing any updates for 2024 at Thrill-A-Thon. No teasers for Thrill-A-Thon specifically, but there will be some Fright Fest news that will be shared from what I understand. So we definitely have that to look forward to at least.
All right. I'm
But
still keeping my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
any of you aren't going to Thrill-A-Thon, but you still would like to, I'm just going to go over how you would do that. Tickets are still on sale right now. I just went and checked, and you can still buy a ticket to Thrill-A-Thon. So you do have to be a member of a coaster club. If you're not a member of a coaster club, you can ask someone who is a member of the coaster club if you could go as their guest. They would share their promo code with you, and that is how you're able to purchase the tickets for Thrill-A-Thon. You'd go in, you'd purchase it. And for pass holders or members, it's $74.99, and then there's about a $10 processing fee. So it comes closer to around $90. And then for non-members or season pass holders, it's $124.99. Just add that extra fee because you don't have a pass, you need a daily ticket. But in my opinion, for the fact that you're getting 2 meals, I think that's pretty good on top of the ERT and the 2 raffles. The raffles are what I'm most excited for, on top of course, the Q&A with the directors. That's always really, really cool. And I do want to make sure everyone knows that we are not able to film the Q&A. We haven't been able to the past 2 years. I don't think that'll change this year. So I'm going to share what I can from what we hear at the Q&A, but I cannot get an exact recording. But definitely expect a really, really long and extensive video from tomorrow, as there have been for the past 2 years. I still don't know if I'm going to break it up into 1 part and 2 part, but we'll see how that goes. And something else I did want to mention is, since I didn't even get the chance to do a stream for 7K because we flew past 7K and came right to 8K very fast. So I really do want to thank you guys so much for that. And I'm sure there's a lot of you who may be brand new to the stream starting tonight. So if you are new, welcome. What we do is basically we'll take questions from the chat, go over what we think of them, share some of our own little ideas we have, and just kind of go from there. So I'm going to start looking for questions in the chat now. And like I said, we'll be having a couple more people join us within a few minutes. So let's see. You know, if everything will still be open tomorrow. As far as I know, everything will be open. Houdini recently reopened, if you guys saw the last vlog. So pretty much everything is open with the exception of Vlog Flume, which we obviously know will not be reopening until 2024. So definitely a lot of rides to look forward to. And here's a big one. What do you guys think is coming in 2024? I'm going to let Ace start with that because I know he has a lot of ideas.
Well, the first idea, I just got back from Magic Mountain, and we have a huge, great relationship with Premier Rides. East Coast races, perhaps, as a possibility from what I'm seeing, and to pay homage to the great Chiller, Batman and Robin the Chiller. Number 2, could probably see a Blitz coaster, perhaps, of some sort. That's a possibility. That's what I can think of now. Nothing like over the top like a Giga. So those 2. So if you get either of those, the Premier Rides Racing West Coast Racers type for the East Coast, of course, Great Adventure, or the Intamin Blitz, I'd be very, very ecstatic.
I think that's quite the bold prediction, maybe even more bold than a Giga. So I'm going to let Darius go, and then I'm going to share my thoughts.
Yep.
Yeah, it's actually the first time I'm in violent agreement on every point that Ace has made. Usually we're like one off on something, but no, I think, you know, either like a full throttle type ride or a dueling. And the reason why I think the kind of dueling ride like the one in Magic Mountain is, to your point, based on where they're doing all of the query and spec work, right where Chiller was. We all know Chiller was problematic, but definitely one of the most heartfelt coasters there, probably besides bobsled and lightning loops, and I would say last but not least the Great American Scream Machine. So yeah, I would love to see some type of, you know, high capacity dueling double circuit array in that area. That would be pretty cool, especially if they went back with some Batman and Robin theme. But now I'm going a little too far down the wish list to go and have a revisited Chiller.
So I do got to jump in real quick. We got a super chat, another one. Thank you, Cool Gamer 17, for the 50th. Oh, there you go, Ace. There's the super chat horn. Cool Gamer 17, thank you for the 50th. We're getting premium bricks. So I'm going to go back to the question up top, and that kind of ties right back into this, as I think there's definitely a lot going on for the 50th anniversary at Great Adventure. And a lot of things some people are kind of expecting, other things people aren't expecting. So for starters, I think there's going to be a heavy emphasis on the park's past and paying homage to that past. If you guys saw today's video, there was a sort of teaser posted on Great Adventure's Twitter page, or X, whatever it's called now, where they showed the original 1974 map with certain areas grayed out and other areas in color. And that really had me thinking about what they could be hinting at with that. We already know that Log Flume is closed for refurbishment until summer of next year. So that tells me that they're definitely looking to do some repairs and other things to it to make it better than ever. I think there's going to be a heavy emphasis on restoration and refurbishment next year. We have already seen that Nitro has begun its repaint. Of course, the trains have been repainted, and I imagine we're going to see track and supports get repainted over the off season. So that'll be done. I've been hearing that Runaway Train is likely to receive a repaint, which again would go along with restoration of original attractions. Something I would really like to see is Swashbuckler be restored to the original theme and color scheme, which was Super Roundup. You can see some of the blue paint coming through where the red or yellow is chipping off. I think that'd be really cool to see. But of course, everyone really wants to know about roller coasters. And I think that 2024 isn't necessarily going to be the year for a big coaster. We obviously know that there's something big going on in the Metropolis / front gate area. And what I'm thinking, just from the pieces I've been able to put together, is that that Metropolis path on the right side closest to Justice League, behind that fence, I think they're going to get rid of that maze because they've already started to move it up further, closer to Main Street. And I think that that whole back area is going to be turned into an expansion plot. I think it's very likely we could see a Skyline Peace Getty Bowl dueling coaster there. Six Flags already bought two for Over Georgia and Fiesta Texas. It would only make sense for them to buy another one because typically they're going to buy things in bulk and get that discount. So I think Great Adventure is definitely on the list to receive one. It'd be very good to put it there because they could very easily theme it to Kid Flash and keep it the same as the other ones. Although personally, I think it'd be cooler to see a different theme for it. I think it's very possible too that we could see some flat rides added to that area. That's a pretty sizable area. And to just put a Skyline coaster there would definitely be a little underwhelming just because there's so much space there. Of course, everyone wants to see a more thrilling coaster like East Coast Racers, like Ace said, or even a Batman and Robin the Chiller homage coaster like Darius said. But I don't think that's what's going to be happening in this area. I think the markers we see up by the entrance have more to do with the entrance itself being refurbished. Although it is kind of weird that there's markers next to the security entrance, which was just redone, though that could just be tying into the rest of the project. I think the ticket booths and the turnstiles are going to be overhauled. Again, there's no confirmation of this yet. This is just what I'm thinking. I remember back in 2020 or 2021, we were talking with John Winkler, who is the former park president of Great Adventure, and he already had tons of plans for the 2024 50th anniversary season. And he told us that the park was going to be the best that it ever has come 2024. And I definitely think that despite him no longer being with the park, that this will continue with the new administration with Brian Basica. He's a really, really great guy, and I have high hopes for what they're doing at the 50th anniversary. So definitely a lot of things to look forward to. And there's even smaller things like the paintball building in front of the carousel. That will be removed, so you don't have to take the arcade shortcut anymore to get to Toro. You'll be able to walk straight through. From what I'm hearing, double-sided lockers are going to be implemented on the rides that require you to buy lockers, in addition to some upgrades being made to those rides. So I think 2024, even if we don't get a giant coaster, will be a really, really awesome year. And from what I'm understanding, the arena coaster that we've all been dreaming of may not be off the table quite yet. We've heard of Skyline being on site, Intamin being on site, and whether that's Intamin just looking at their own rides or looking for a spot for new rides, we don't know. But I definitely think the arena coaster could still happen, likely for 2025, so that they can focus on the park's history for 2024. But that's just what I'm thinking based off everything we've seen so far. No, that was a lot of stuff, but I'm very passionate about the 50th anniversary. I'm really, really excited to see what the park does. Let's see. Next up. No Tom or Bob today. No Tom or Bob today. We were planning on doing a stream with myself, Tom, Bob, and my dad to kind of recap California, but we didn't really get the chance to organize that, unfortunately. But we're definitely going to look to do that pretty soon or something like that. Let's see here. Next up. Lots of people excited for Thrill-A-Thon. Can anyone go to Thrill-A-Thon? So you have to be a member of a coaster club, or you can go as a guest of someone who does have a coaster club membership. The code has kind of been shared around, so realistically, you could just go with someone that has a coaster club, membership and say that you're their guest, but you should be a Coaster Club member in order to go to the event. Let's see here. The old Riding the Bolt ERT was legendary in prior years. It should be a lot of fun tomorrow. I know a lot of people are disappointed about the ERT offerings. The ERT on Toro, Medusa, and Mine Train is from 10:30 to 11:30. So the park will technically already be open while that ERT is going on, and then there isn't any nighttime ERT. From what I understand, that decision was made because the nighttime ERT at the past two Thrill-A-Thons wasn't very heavily attended, which I could definitely vouch for. Last year, it was Medusa, Mine Train, and Log Flume, and there was almost nobody there. The year before that, it was Metropolis and Movie Town, and again, there was almost nobody there. I think that might have more to do with the ride selection, as if it was like Toro or Devil or Ka, there'd definitely be a lot more people there, but I do understand why the park is doing this. And the 2 meals, in my opinion, on top of the raffles, more than makes up for the lack of ERT. How do I join a coaster club? So there's a few different coaster clubs you can join. I think the most universally well-known and the best one is American Coaster Enthusiasts, ACE. They constantly have different events across the entire country and across the state of New Jersey and New York and all that. So you could just go to their website and purchase a membership, and you're in. It's very simple. Let's see here. His hints are all over the place. I'm thinking you're referring to Jeff Siebert, which, if that's the case, yeah, they're very all over the place. I still can't crack the code. I thought they were getting maybe an Intamin multi-launch coaster or something along those lines, but that's seemingly off the table at this point. No, you can't just be a pass holder. I said that you have to be a member of a coaster club, and then if you are a pass holder, you get to buy the cheaper ticket. Whereas if you're not a pass holder, you have to buy the more expensive ticket, which includes day admission, but you have to be a member of a coaster club. Which announcement is everyone most excited for next, and what do they think it is? We'll start alphabetically with Ace.
Obviously, the announcement of 2024 for Great Adventure. You know, I can't wait to see what's going to happen. You know, the predictions for 24.
Well, since we were on the topic of Siebert, I'd love to know what Fiesta Texas is up to. I mean, given the fact that, you know, it's 10 minutes away from my office, I can't wait to kind of see what the park's going to do. It's not the biggest park in the world, but it's definitely, you know, in the top 10 of fun. So, you know, and that'll hopefully get you guys to come out there next season.
I'm definitely looking forward to returning to Fiesta Texas at some point. It's right there with Great Adventure, in my opinion, as the best Six Flags park. Magic Mountain, no. But definitely not. But of course, I'm very excited for Great Adventures, but I'm also really excited to see what Over Georgia and Fiesta Texas have up their sleeve. Over Georgia has been doing a lot of teasing, and it's clear that their PR team is really into this whole announcement season. And another one I'm really, really excited for is Dorney Park. Although we do kind of pretty much know what they're getting. We know there's going to be a dive coaster from B&M, and it's going to be, 160 feet tall? I don't remember the exact height, something around there. But I'm really excited to see what they do with the theme and the name, because they're really hyping it up, and the PR team at that park is just excellent. And I'm really, really excited to see the ride come together as a whole.
Do you think that's going to be a distinct track design, or do you think it's going to be based on something that's already out there?
What, the theme?
The actual track layout.
Oh,
I think it's going to be unique.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a very similar ride to Emperor in terms of theming and layout. I think it's going to have different elements. And Emperor's a pretty good ride, so I'm very excited to see what they do.
Yeah, Emperor was good. The last 2 years I've ridden it, and I'm excited about Fiesta Texas. That would be number 2 as my most exciting announcement, because I haven't been to Fiesta Texas since 2020. And that's one of my favorite parks, alongside obviously Great Adventure, because like you, Colin, and your dad, we're all thankful to have that as our park, especially what's going on with Magic Mountain. So yeah, Fiesta Texas definitely, it's so well run. It packs a punch for a medium-sized park. And you're so lucky, Darius, to have that park.
We got Iron Rattler, we got Wonder Woman, Dr. Diabolical,
Superman.
Soup's one of the best coasters on the planet.
Yeah, right off the Quarry War, one of my favorites. Got some great coasters.
Lots of really good rides there.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's see here. What does everyone collect as park souvenirs? So obviously you can see one of my choices. I get a lot of coaster shirts. This is one of my more recent ones from Magic Mountain. I used to be heavy into the Coaster Dynamics models, but I've kind of just gotten bored with building them. They're kind of a pain in the neck, in my opinion. My dad is really big into the magnets and the pins, so we get a lot of those. License plates are also really cool. A lot of cool different things we have from all the parks.
Magnets, pins, patches. Those are my go-to.
Obviously, as you can see, I always have to pay homage to my posters, Mr. Ka, King the Ka shirts. I love t-shirts. That's what I collect.
Yeah. T-shirts are always fun.
Especially discounted 50% off when you have a diamond or above.
Yeah, it's Six
You
Flags.
get as many as you want. Nobody else does it like Six Flags. Everybody else is $30 or $40.
So let's see. How do you check into Thrill-A-Thon? I have a ticket for pass holders and my Ace card. That's all you need. Yep, that is all you need. You have keep your pass with you, keep your barcode ready with the ticket for Thrill-A-Thon and your Ace card, and then you're good to go. And we have Sammy here, but I can't
What's up,
see
guys?
it. Oh, there's Sammy.
Hey,
What's
up, Sammy?
I just can't turn my camera on. I'm in the car.
Yeah, I'm having camera issues too, so don't worry about it. Let's see. So yeah, there will be a tent near the entrance for check-in. That's usually how they do it. They just have like a little thing set up. You go up there, do your thing, whatever. So very, very easy process. Q&A with Brian is going to be nice. It definitely will be. And if you are going, I just encourage you to not ask questions that you know will not be answered, because that's just going to deter them from answering questions in the future. So if you are going, think of some really good, unique questions that you think you can actually answer. Because obviously anything about, what's the next roller coaster? They're not going to answer that. So instead of asking questions that nobody is going to get an answer to, ask questions that you are going to get an answer to. Let's see. What is the credit you were most disappointed when you missed at a park because it was closed during your visit? I have to pull up my spreadsheet for that because there's a lot of credits that I have missed over the years, unfortunately.
Wow.
Most recently, I would say Accelerator at Knott's Berry Farm. I mean, that ride looks awesome, and it's been closed for a very long time now.
Wow.
At Magic Mountain, there's so many different coasters to pick from because there's so many coasters closed. I mean, Apocalypse looked awesome. Goliath, I mean, I've ridden Titan, so it wasn't that bad. Ninja would have been cool to ride. Riddler, I was really excited to ride and closed. At Over Texas, I also missed a lot of credits. Aquaman was still under construction, so I wasn't going to ride that anyways. Would have been nice to get on their Mine Train, Runaway Mountain, La Vibora. At Kennywood, I missed Skyrocket, which was closed for whatever reason. Other than that, nothing too significant. I mean, I've missed quite a few credits here and there, but nothing absolutely devastating, thankfully.
Oh, no, I got it devastating. I went to Australia last month.
Right.
And I wanted to get on DC Rivals, and it was closed and reopened the next day. Next day, as I'm headed back from Gold Coast to Melbourne Airport, like I'm looking out in the distance and I see DC Rivals running.
That's really tough.
And like, no offense, I'm not going all the way back to Australia for one coaster credit, but I did manage to get on Superman Escape, which is a pretty unique Intamin. But yeah, I didn't get on DC Rivals.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Ace.
I've been fortunate, of course, when I was younger, when Bobolton was closed, when I first went in 2012 and made that up by going back to Busch Gardens that year. Recently, the main credit has been only vertical velocity at Discovery Kingdom. I was pretty much perfect throughout all my road trip of getting everything I needed. And of course, the other one is in 2020, which is a heartbreaker, the old Lightning Loops, now known as Diamondback, at Six Flags Frontier City. So that was my biggest heartbreaker, because I like riding some nostalgic coasters that Great Adventure once had, one of the Lightning Loops. So those are the main credits that were heartbreaking.
One more one that I missed that was just really weird was Great White at SeaWorld San Antonio. So what happened there was we were there at the park on a Friday. It was during COVID. So it was around July, August of 2020. And we went up to the ride, and the train was on the track and everything. And it says closed for the day. So I asked an employee, I was like, why is this closed? He's like, oh, well, it's only open on weekends. It's like, well, doesn't Friday technically count as a weekend in park operating status? Well, no. So, of course, only open Saturday and Sunday. So we missed that one. And then most recently at SeaWorld San Diego, the SeaWorld curse continues. Electric Eel was closed because someone broke their either their foot or their ankle by sticking their foot out the restraint. So Tempesto, Tigress, and Electric Eel were all closed for a while. And then, of course, it opened like 2 days after we left. But then Tidal Twister closed. So I guess it was kind of a double-edged sword. And with that, Jack is now joining us. Welcome to the stream, Jack.
What's up, Jack?
Hello.
Jack, what is the credit you were most disappointed to miss at a park because it was closed on your visit?
Skip.
You got skipped. We'll get to you. You're at the end of the alphabet.
I did get. Wow. Okay. I noticed.
Are you driving?
Maybe.
Driving and streaming. Wow.
Ooh, that's dangerous.
Ace has done crazier things. Don't give me that.
Sammy's. Well.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're driving.
Probably Accelerator at Knott's Berry Farm. Because I went to the park 2 times in 2019 and 2021, and both times it was closed for different reasons.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
What about you, Sammy?
Oh, it's my turn now. Okay.
Yep.
What's the wooden one at Maurice Pierce? Great White.
Great White.
Yeah, I missed that, and I'm still mad about it. But whatever.
Oh.
All right, take it
That's
a little
definitely
further.
the most unique one there.
What's the most elusive one that you guys have had to like? I've had some ones that I've had to chase like 5-6 visits to be able to get on. What's your most elusive?
Flying turns.
Ooh,
I got that day one. I didn't have any issues with that.
I have 2 that were like literally like slaying a dragon trying to ride these things. X2 when they reopened it was elusive. Like I think I flew out there maybe 3 times and went to the park 5 different days and finally got on it. I mean, you would wait an hour to get on the ride and it would shut down and be done for the day. That was one. And then the furthest thing I've ever chased was White Cyclone before it turned into Hakuge. Like I went to work, I don't know, 3 times, another one like 3-4 times. And that's a long trip. And like, actually, you guys are going to laugh. I teared up when I finally got on it because I had chased this coaster so much. And
that's great.
And in Japan, I think I told you guys the story. The harnesses are a lot smaller, and I was much bigger then. And I actually had like a heart-shaking moment because they pushed down on the restraints, and it wasn't enough. And I basically told the dude to stand on it. I didn't care because I was getting on that coaster.
There you go.
But yeah, the 2 most elusive credits ever.
Wow. It's amazing. And X2, I've never had every visit for the last 17 years, except yesterday, because I was there for 2 days for Magic Mountain on Thursday and Friday. I've gotten X2 easily. The only day it didn't open was the last day I was there, which is nothing, because I've been on X2 every visit, every trip, like every 8 or 9 trips I've done to Magic Mountain.
I still think that's a life-changing credit.
It is. The X2 is just as good as Edge and Night or probably anything else. That X2 is incredible. There's so many ways to defeat the pain. You just hold yourself tense up right on that the calf rest. Make sure you don't let it bang. That's as simple as that. That ride is great.
So I do want to go a little off topic here since we're talking about X2. So I rode X2 very recently in mid-July. I rode it twice. I got screwed out of it on the first day because it's a long story. If you've seen the Magic Mountain vlog from day one, you know how it went.
I had the same thing. Same thing happened to me. I went and got an X2, running one train. The queue was completely full, and I waited in the whole thing. It ended up being 3 hours because it was like, okay, this is my second time at Magic Mountain. and it was closed last time. I'm just gonna wait for it. But
Wow.
That's insane.
But
They
the
had one
second
train
day we went
operation.
back. We went first thing in the morning. We rope dropped it, and it was close to opening. It took another like 20, 30 minutes for it to open. So we got on it once. I rode the inside seat back row, and you guys are probably going to want to put a gun to my head for this, but I thought it was good, but not like amazing. I was a little unimpressed. So then we went back around, and the line was really, it didn't look long at all. It was just before the flash pass merge point. It took another hour to get on it again. It was unbelievable how horrible the loading is between one train.
Your opinion is wrong.
What?
Yeah.
Your opinion is just wrong.
Right.
That's erroneous.
The second
That's erroneous.
I rode the same seat, but I rode the outside seat instead of the inside seat, back row, left side, and it was way better. And from what I had been told from locals, X2 was running way smoother than it normally does. So on the outside seat, it wasn't rough at all. It was actually still very smooth. And the fire was working, which was really cool. But it was intense, but not in the traditional sense. Like I didn't gray out on it. I mean, I felt like a little kick of it maybe, but it's just because of the weird forces you experience. It's not traditional intensity. So I mean, I still think it's a little overrated personally. It was really, really cool, but it had been hyped up like it was like this unbelievable, like crazy thing. And it was crazy. It was definitely insane, but I don't know. I think I wasn't quite as impressed as everyone else in the group. I still think it's a top 15 coaster. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Hey, Colin.
Also,
you should have go
kind of slow.
You should have ran the.
I'm gonna do some ageism on you guys. I'm like, come on, kids. Like back in my day, we would have no joking on that, but like serious. Like I think you guys are like generationally spoiled on the coaster exposures that you guys have because like X2, like it's still almost. I mean, free spins are one thing, but like that initial backflip dive, there's nothing like it.
No, it isn't. And also, can I add this, Darius, to these youngsters? Besides you and I in the same age group. Colin, Jack. Well, Jack, you already know. But Colin, you should have rolled the front. You would have had the front for that first flip, going down with your head dangling. Why do you ride the front?
Because the back is way better.
The front is great. Ask Darius. Ask Jack.
How do you know?
No,
exactly.
I only rode it in the back, and I personally do not like X2. Not that I don't like it, but it's not amazing. It's an okay ride. It's intense, and it's got some unique. It's very unique. Like it's very forceful, and just that drop is crazy when you just flip upside down and go down. But I don't think it's like out of this world crazy great ride.
So
I was being flippant about the age thing,
have the
but
worst opinions.
Yeah, I definitely think
Sammy, just keep your eyes on the road.
They are on the road.
Wow.
Sammy, how old are you? Like, is Sammy closer to our age or your guys?
Yes, their age.
Sammy's not an adult.
No, he's not legal yet.
So this is what I think. I think it is definitely a generational difference. Everyone I talk to who comes from like our generation of coasters loves X, and everyone I talk to who's in Colin's generation, like they're like, yeah, you know, I mean, it's okay.
Listen, when I first rode X, when it was X in 2006, and then I got on again as X2, I was just screaming to myself, this is number 2 behind Superman to ride. Well, at the time, it was Superman Ride of Steel at New England. It was top 2, top 3. So, yeah, I concur with that, Darius. Our generation loves the hell out of it.
I don't think Superman at New England is that great. That's my
oh, God.
opinion.
I think
now,
it's
why
really
is
good,
that? Why is that?
I think it's really good.
I think it's great.
No airtime in the Cupid ruins the whole ride. I'm sure with the T-bar it was great, but I just think the absolutely ruins that ride.
I can look past it, just like with Skyrush. I can get around.
I don't care. I really don't care about the damn black ball.
Experience.
I think it's great either way.
You like it, Darius?
Sammy, what were you going to say about X2?
Oh, what was I going to say about X2?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think the ride is insane. I think there's 2 rides in this world that so far I've been like kind of terrified getting on, that and I-305, and they both blew me away when I got on. I think X2 is like a crazy ride.
It is
so much fun.
There we go. We got a generation after us that concurs with us, Darius.
Yeah, I think if you were born after Magnum XL, it's a coin flip. If you were born before,
Wow.
Magnum is better than most coasters at Cedar Point.
Did you see Magnum break down a little bit?
Yeah.
Walking down the steps. Wow. Evac. Ride evac. Wow.
So I was thinking about this with X2, with what Sammy just said about how that was one of the only coasters that scared him. I saw Tom, and Tom was like he went insane when he first rode it. But I guess because I've ridden so much at this point that I'm conditioned to not really be nervous about anything. The last time I was nervous about a coaster, I mean, I was a little nervous about I-305 just because I knew it was going to make me gray out, and I didn't really know how that would feel. But before that, it was El Toro when I was like 6 or 7. And after that, nothing really fazed me. I know the camera's upside down. I have to charge my phone, and the way I have my phone set up, I have to flip it upside down, unfortunately. So once I get a little higher, I'll flip it back right side up.
It's not an exact like I'm scared to ride it. It's like a scared like this is a totally different like this is it almost doesn't even feel like a roller coaster. It feels like a crazy like you're getting punched around.
See, I didn't get that experience because it was so smooth the day I rode it.
Yeah, no, not even that. It's like you have nothing to compare this ride to. Like I couldn't compare that to like Joke or A Great Adventure. That's when like because like I couldn't compare I-305 to like that's when I'm like scared because like it's a totally new experience. Like RMCs are RMCs, like Intamins are Intamins, but it's like when you have these really unique coasters, you get a little nervous going on them.
Yeah,
the last one that got me.
Now that I think about it, the last time I was actually nervous on a coaster, it wasn't before I got on it. It was one moment when I was actually on it, and that was Rail Runner at Anakeesta in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's a mountain coaster that's single rail, and it is easily the best mountain coaster in the world, at least the one out of the ones I've ridden. Definitely the best one in the States because it runs way faster than it probably should, and there's one turn that just sends you flying. And it felt like if I wasn't holding on, I was going to get launched out of the car. It was unbelievable. That was the only time in recent memory I was actually scared by something.
Yeah. The last one to get me was Moonsault. Like it was my first Japan trip, and I got on Moonsault, and I'm gonna tell you, the second time I got on it, like I thought about not getting back on it, man. That thing was. I'm not going to say rough. It was intense. Probably the most intense coaster I've ever been on.
Looks like it.
Yeah, nothing.
That's like the 200-foot boomerang, right?
Yeah, that thing was nuts.
Yeah,
like absolutely nuts. And I'd actually say Dodonpa before the recontouring. I haven't been on it since it's been recontoured. That was another one where you kind of like had like a little bit of a I'll keep it PG you know what moment and you're like and then you get on it and it's fine, you guys know. But yeah, those are the two coasters, same park, that will literally steal your breath away from you when you're about to get on it.
Yeah, ever since Chilla, I mastered Chilla in 1998 when it had its first full operating year. So everybody knows what happened in '97 with the problems. I'm not officially opening. I've been good, but it was Ka, Nitro, nothing scares me. X is the closest one. When I had that holy, you know what moment when it flips you when you're going down that first drop. But other than that, nothing.
I still front seat. I don't think there's any drop like that where you just. Invert into a dive. Yeah, there's
oh my god, it's insane.
Make it 100 feet longer and you know, kill me on it afterwards. I'm done. Like I don't need to ride anything else.
X2 incredible. Janica similar to X2, right?
Yeah, same layout.
Like which one you like better?
Janica is much smoother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Janica, yeah.
They got the like tolerances in between the outer rails and the inner rails.
Okay.
Like, much tighter.
Okay.
And SNS Sensei built Janica, whereas what do you call it? Arrow built X2 as a prototype essentially. So all the lessons learned are in that. All right, Colin, get us back on track.
What actually like makes me nervous or scares me is the idea of not getting on all the coasters in a day or however much time I have at a park. So I get very nervous of like, oh, we're going to spend too much time here and miss this, or this is going to close on me. That's the only thing that really makes me nervous anymore at parks. Riding the stuff doesn't faze me at all.
I got to add to that. As Colin, you know me for over almost damn near 10 years. And your dad, I'm insane when it comes to like packing in parks, and which I did on this last trip. The scariest moment was my flight. It was going to rain when I was in Lagoon on the 1st of this month. Oh my God, I was nervous as hell. But I did make it. I got on the, what's that one called? Cannibal. And I got on Wicked multiple times. Cannibal like 5 times. So I did everything I had to do. And same thing for the rest of the trip. I was worried about, am I going to get there in time? Because some of these hours are horrible post-COVID. Like they literally close so early, and even the boardwalk park closing at 10 in California. So it was scary. I get extremely nervous until I'm done. So yeah, I know the feeling. You want to get all your credits before the park closes, especially if you're going to 4 or 5 parks like me in a day, which is insane, beyond insane.
Hey, Apes, did you manage to get on Son of Beast before?
No. The reason I didn't get out there was because I didn't have the resources I had now. All my resources were to other things like school and everything else. So I wasn't doing the crazy road trips that I'm doing now. So I kind of am a little remiss because I would have loved to have had that credit, because that's one hell of a coaster of 223 feet that drop, but I don't miss the pain. That's for sure in the in-house park coaster that they made,
Yeah.
So did you get on it?
I was just reminding myself of another coaster credit that scared the hell out of me, and that was like when you made that turn and went into the dive right before the loop.
Whoa.
That's a scary coaster because it's beating the hell out of you the whole time.
Oh my God, the whole coaster was like that, beating you up
until you got in the loop. Like the whole thing's just chattery.
Wow. What about after the loop?
Before and after.
What about after the loop?
Chattery. Like it was. I can't think of the last couple of years of Rolling Thunder.
Yeah,
with a much higher top speed.
Oof. That thing tore itself apart, literally.
Colin,
just like the Rolling Thunder.
That's the one coaster I wish you guys could ride.
I know, man. That's a kid just like Hypersonic XLC at King's Dominion. That's another one we missed that I didn't get to go on. I just missed it too by a couple of years because I got on Intimidator my first ever year at King's Dominion in 2010.
That's actually a really good question, though. If you can go back in time, what's one coaster you get on that you missed?
All of those.
Ooh.
Jeez, all of those that we alluded to.
No, you can only pick one.
Oh, Accelerator. I mean, not Accelerator. Hypersonic XLC. No question.
Well, you can get on Dodonpa.
I would take Hypersonic XLC because the way that layout was, it's just insane. It's pretty much pays the top hats on the Intamin accelerator coasters. All of them that they pay homage to pretty much XLC Hypersonic when you look at it, but a much better. Would you concur, Darius? Because you've been on.
Those top hats were intense. They weren't like you didn't crawl over them like an Intamin does. You get shot over them and then shot up at the top and then thrown down.
Wow. Oh my God.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. I go back to old layout Dodonpa again. That would be my revisit. I can't think of something. I'd get back on Dueling Dragons. That thing's nostalgic.
Oh my God. You talking about that Universal Islands of Adventure?
Dude,
and Dragon's
magic.
Oh, it was I went there. Oof. I got there 3 visits between 2009, 10, and 11. Every time we went on Dueling Dragons, 1,000,000 times too on both sides. There's nothing like it. Those are 2 great elusive credits.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was magic. You get on fire, you get on ice, and don't throw anything at anyone.
Yes, it was. I missed. I wish they never took it out, even though we have the great Hagrids now. But I missed that those rides so much. Dueling Dragons were great.
What about you guys?
Probably. That's a hard one. I think honestly, probably just for like nostalgia's sake, I'd love to maybe like Big Bad Wolf at
It's a good one.
at Williamsburg.
I rode that
Yeah.
once in the front.
Yeah. Either that or probably original Dodonpa.
Oh, wow. What about you, Colin?
I think I fixed my issue. I think.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're back on.
Yeah, we see you.
There's a whole big storm of things that happened here. I was trying to use this, spilled water everywhere. But what was the question?
Go ahead.
Time machine. Which coaster would you get on for time machine sake? You can only pick one now defunct coaster. What you getting on?
That's a really hard question.
We talked about old layout Dodonpa. We talked about XLC. We talked about Big Bad Wolf.
I think that Volcano would definitely be up there.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
barely
forgot
missed
about
it.
that. Yeah.
You rode Volcano, Darius?
Yeah, that was.
You know what's crazy? I always thought of what would the world be without Volcano before it happened. I was like, let me get on this sucker as much as I can. I'm telling you, I prophesied it. That's why I was like, because of the downtime it had
I'll
in the
be
years
right
prior.
back. I'll let you guys keep going with that.
That's a scary one.
I was
Wow.
thinking Volcano as well, but I think I'm gonna go with like Jack said, nostalgic sake, opening year of Scream Machine at Great Adventure.
Ooh, you been on Screen Machine, Darius?
Oh hell yeah, dude! That was my
Yes,
coaster.
sir. That was my coaster
graduated from
too.
Lightning Loops to
Yes.
Scream Machine.
Yes. Oh, Scream Machine! I killed Scream Machine every time I went, especially in the front and that mid course break. Boop boop! You got thrown up in the air like air time. Boop boop! Like this. I would never forget that to finish off the last loop.
Before they put the trim sensor in for that thing, you'd come
Yeah.
screaming through it, and it would just tap you, keep going.
Wow! I wish y'all guys got your youngsters got on it. You, Sammy, and Jack.
Which
Dang.
ride?
I was
no,
so
the
close.
Great
but I
American
was
Scream
just a
Machine.
little under.
Oh,
Oh, what a
Listen,
classic,
man.
especially the first years.
Viper is
Similar.
pretty close.
Yes, it is. I concur with
Viper's
that. You're
pretty
right.
close.
It is. It's kind of rough now, the Viper, but it is similar.
But I
Scream
mean,
Machine did get rough.
I mean, it outlasted Scream.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. It only lasted 11 years, and it's incredible how short the lifespan was for the Arrow at Great Adventure. It's
I
amazing.
can't remember who did it, but someone did a real good video on where we went wrong with those three coasters. So the one at
Probably El Toro Ryan.
yeah, it was I think it was ETR. So the one in Chicago, ours, and then like they took the Vortex.
Yep.
Like corkscrew, like they took all the dimensions from those rides and just made bigger layouts and like changed the elevation, which was like a total crapshoot. Like it shouldn't have worked. In fact, like we were probably stressing elements in a way that like we wouldn't be able to get away with it anymore. Like modern standards would not allow us to have coasters like that anymore. And the fact that Viper is still standing.
Yep.
Like that's a testament to what they did to fix that.
And that's the biggest one.
Oh yeah. But
wow.
Like, I mean, you definitely have to take an Advil for that. Like,
yeah.
I come off with a migraine.
You gotta be in the front row of that son of a gun. I always buy the front row. I do not want to get beaten up furthermore. Any of those rough rides, go to the front. Any front seat.
Hey, Colin.
Sure.
Talk to me about Full Throttle. Did you like it?
Oh,
I thought it was cool. I mean, obviously it's way too short, but
yeah,
what it is really, really good. It has a lot of different cool elements. You know, you have that ejector on the drop, you have the hang time on the loop, you have that weightlessness on the backwards launch. There's a lot of just really, really cool elements on there. I wish it was longer.
Yeah. One of my favorites, and that was my last ride of my trip. And I missed it on the day because I got there at 7 o'clock on Thursday. Only had 2 hours, but I did have like a couple hours yesterday. And let me tell you, Full Throttle is great. It is short, but it's just an exquisite coaster. It's going through the old monorail tunnel, and then even going up there touching Superman, which is so cool, right on top of the deck where the Superman entrance is.
So long because we've been on the same question for about 20 minutes, so we're gonna try to move through some of these. Colin, will I not be able to go tomorrow because I'm not a member of a coaster club? If you're there with someone who is a member of a coaster club and you're there as their guest, you will be able to go. Let's
Hey, Coaster Joe,
If you bought a ticket to Thrill-A-Thon.
if you bought a ticket to Thrill-A-Thon, exactly.
Yeah.
buy
You
a
can go
ticket
to
to
the park.
Thrill-A-Thon and find one of us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can buy it. You can buy it tonight still, I think.
Yes, they're
Darius,
still
are you
live.
going tomorrow?
I'm going, man.
Everybody in the
Oh,
stream
awesome.
is going.
Yeah,
Awesome. I've yet to meet Darius in person, so that's gonna be cool.
cool. Yeah, Darius is a cool cat.
I flew from Texas. I'm here, sitting in
Nice.
Montclair, driving down Turnpike. Tomorrow morning, I'll be in the parking lot by 9.
Nice. We all be there. We all be there tailgating.
Rest of the
Bring-
year now. I don't.
Bring your food,
I
guys.
would like to know why, because Great Adventure is in a really good state right now. All the coasters are open. Almost every flat ride and other ride is open. So I would definitely make every effort you can to get back.
Yeah.
Oh, you know me. I pop in randomly on weekends and last minute. Hey, anybody around?
Overheard Great Adventure Park officials say something of Project Chiller Electric Dueler. Anyone else heard that? I have not heard that. In fact, I've heard that is bogus. So, not sure about that.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. That's what I'm
Yeah.
going with.
That'd be great. East Coast races.
This is a really great question. What ride would you bring back to Great Adventure for the 50th?
That's easy. That is easy. Who's going first?
You. Let's
You.
go. Let's
The
hear it.
Chiller. The Batman of Robin, the Chiller, of course. Out of the Scream Machine, Rolling Thunder, and Lightning Loops, of course. Hell yeah, the Chiller. Big time. But the Chiller will be similar to the Mr. Freeze, whatever they can to get it right. Like the great Mr. Freeze clones are at St. Louis and over Texas. Of course.
Dude, I lost my wallet on Freeze 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
They got it back to me, which was
Good.
awesome.
Good.
I would do Mr. Freeze.
Mhm.
No. What am I forgetting? No, I'm sorry, and you guys are gonna hate me for this. I would bring Togo International. I would bring the Ultra Twister back.
Oh, no, I'm not going to hate you. I never got on that. That's an elusive feather for me, Darius. That's a good one. I would love to ride that.
Ride the clone at Nagashimi Spa Land.
Wow. That's crazy.
I'm telling you, man, that Japan trip, you guys got to take me up on it. I'm doing another
Yeah,
one
we
next year.
definitely got it. Possibly.
Yeah.
Who knows? I would probably go with you.
I did
Oh, man.
Australia this
That's a
year.
bucket list.
I did
that's a
Japan for
bucket
2
list.
years.
Since someone
That's
else
a
already
bucket.
said Chiller, I never got to ride Chiller, but I've ridden the Mr. Freeze clones, and they're
Woof.
awesome rides for how short
Off
they
the
are in terms of
chain.
length. Awesome rides.
Yes, it is.
Rolling Thunder has always held a special place for the fact that it was one of my first big coasters.
Wow.
Remember dueling, I got to ride both sides and everything, but I would bring it back in the way it should have been restored, which is in the form of an RMC dueling coaster like Twisted Colossus.
That'd
Now,
be sweet.
on Twisted Colossus, and knowing that we were supposed to have that, if Six Flags back then wasn't so cheap, it would have been
That
terrible.
was a miss. That might go down as the all-time biggest waste of resources. They should have RMC'd it. You're absolutely
I know.
right.
Airtime Thrills' video on the biggest coaster misses, or whatever the list was called, Rolling Thunder not being RMC'd, I'm pretty sure was number one.
And can I say something? Colin and Phil always said it, and I concur with them 1,000,000%. Had John Winkler been the park president, we would have had the Twisted Thunder or Steel Thunder, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, what a waste. They could have easily made a way to have a line for the new Zoom and Jow. Come on now. Especially for the 40th.
I do agree that it should have been RMC at the time, but now, and I think you guys might disagree with me here, I think it should be Titan tracked if it was now, because I like the layout so much, and I think you would have just absolutely flown through it with Titan track.
I don't think that support structure would hold the Titan track.
Well, the support structure wouldn't have held anything. So.
No. Which is why at that point you might as well just RMC it and make it one of the best coasters in the world.
You just butcher it. Hey, you can still do something with
it.
it.
Also need a lot more support. So it's like,
yeah, but most RMCs end up like Wildcat was like
it's almost all new,
mostly ground up.
It's 40% old wood.
Yeah.
But look at most of the
Rolling Thunder. They'd use like the station track at Wood or something like that.
Oh yeah, you're so right.
Gentlemen,
We good.
Gentlemen, have you seen all of the RMCs in America? Come on now. How much they butchered up, except Still Vengeance. And even Iron Gwazi got butchered up. They butchered up all these old coasters, pretty much damn near bulldozers. You see it, Darius, right? All these, it's like, you can see the order for old footers and stuff.
Well,
Just like the
didn't you
Cyclone.
You
Twisted
saw
Cyclone at over Georgia.
Gwazi was almost like entirely torn.
That's what I'm alluding to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
See all the footers.
I'll say Texas Giant and
the Rattler.
Iron Rattler, they managed to keep, you know, a high degree of reuse. After that, it was game on. They were like, okay, we're going to be way more aggressive.
Yeah,
I think Texas Giant is a waste. I'm just going to say.
Thank you. Listen, I concur with you 1,000,000%. I'm disappointed when I got on in 2012 for the first time. I got that, disappointing.
It was the first, right? I mean,
the prototype. 2011.
They had to like when they said, "Hey, we're gonna make this thing loop," like, and they will tell the story. Like, or Over Texas was like, "Huh? Like, no, you're not looping this thing." They said,
"Oh my
no.
God,
that
was a mistake."
You wanted to flip that thing.
That was a mistake. And Iron Rattler destroyed it.
And Iron
they
Rattler,
destroyed
it. They were too conservative with Iron Rattler. There's a lot of wasted space on that.
Still a great coaster. It's the best one in Texas. It's one of the best. It's one of my favorite RMCs to this day, even with the new ones. It's Steve and Gwazi. Still one of my favorites. Easily top 20.
I think for me, if I could bring back a ride, only because of recent circumstances, honestly, the bobsleds. Because if they're leaving Great Escape, why don't they come back to Great Adventure?
That's true.
Yeah. It's probably not going to happen, and they're very old. And I know it was part of like the ride relocation program, but I feel like at this point it couldn't survive another relocation. But
no.
They have Vibora at Over Texas as well, which is actually a pretty nice one.
Yeah,
it is. One of my favorites.
Nice
out of all of
it wasn't raining the day I was there.
Would you say that's the best one out of now Reptilian and the Great Escape? Would you say Darius and Colin? Because you guys
I didn't get to ride La Vibora because it was closed for weather.
Oh,
I haven't done the Great Escape, and I've only ridden Flying Turns and Reptilian. I think Flying Turns is my personal favorite just because
it's a nice one.
Yeah.
Nobus. What about you, Darius?
I think Vibora is the one that has the cleanest ride.
It's a nice one.
It's not chattery. It doesn't like banging and stuff. And because it's in Texas, there's a lot of heat, but it doesn't take any of like the Northeast beating. Yeah. That was just a flawed design. Like they shouldn't have put that anywhere that got snow, where it was just going to lay on it throughout the off season.
Yeah, I'm wondering how the Great Escape bobsled worked at Great Adventure when it first opened, near the entrance in the 80s.
When it was Sarajevo, it was
nice. Sarajevo. Yeah. Okay, that Phil can attest to that, how it rode.
That was my first big boy coaster. That and Shockwave.
Wow.
Well, no, Lightning Loops. It was Lightning Loop, Sarajevo, and then Shockwave were my big boy coasters.
Where's the other loop at? The other Great Adventure shuttle loop? You know Diamondback.
You
got Diamondback.
I'm pretty sure it's dead.
Because
it went to either New England or America at some point, and then it kind of got muddled.
Well, it went to that a place near America. I think Jolly Roger.
Yeah, exactly.
America, and then from there it went to America and never got assembled, I think.
Same thing happened with Chile in Brazil. It just sat there. It's just sitting there. It's terrible.
I don't think
they lost
the
blueprint.
Open that though.
Like, no, they lost the blueprint. That's a wrap.
Okay,
they
found out what happened to the other Lightning Loops. It went to Six Flags America, operated as Python from 1993 to 1998.
Wow.
And then it was kept in storage in the field north of Batwing. And then during the fall of 2005, it was removed and assumed to be scrapped.
Wow.
Assumed is a big word though there.
Yeah,
I missed that one.
Where else would it have gone?
That's what everyone thought about Maverick's Heartland roll, and then everyone went crazy when they found it.
Yeah, but it's not like it's gonna
reopen. There's
no. I'm not saying it reopened.
The ride isn't sitting around ready to be rebuilt.
What's the one in what happened to the one in Discovery Kingdom, that Skyline Twister? What happened to that one? It got scrapped?
Yeah.
And what about the one in SeaWorld? Because that wasn't open when I went there 2 days ago.
I know we got like one of the last rides on it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Apparently,
It look,
it's SB&O.
it's so
First,
small.
RCDB at first had called it as being defunct, but then they switched it to SB&O. So it's kind of in a state of limbo right now.
Wow. Yeah, I wasn't impressed. I looked at the damn thing. It looks so tiny. Like it looks smaller than
never
Sandy.
ridden it, have you, Ace?
Nah, it looks. No.
So Colin has a
I have on
credit.
Ace.
No, you got that. That's all. But was it fun, honestly, Colin, or was it fun?
It was stupid.
Thank you. I don't. Even if I vote, I'm like, it's just a credit. Give me the 500 plus, 560 plus. Yeah.
Well, we're moving because we have a lot of questions in the chat we haven't got to yet, so we're gonna start moving through these a little faster.
Okay.
Let's see here. Heard Top Thrill Dragster Spike might be by Zamperla. That's because it is being done by Zamperla. Okay.
The most interesting news.
This is one I do want to discuss because we haven't all had the opportunity to sit down and talk about it.
Oh, nice.
Thoughts on Top Thrill 2. So I'll go first because I have a lot of opinions.
Go for it.
As the speculation and construction progress kept going, it became very clear to me that it was going to be no more than just the spike. It was just going to be a swing launch and a spike. I was really holding out for an airtime hill being added in the swing launch. Obviously, that didn't happen. But I figured even if it was just going to be the spike and, that whole thing, that they would come up with a really cool name and theme. When the Zamperla leak came out 2 days early, I assumed Top Thrill 2 was just a placeholder name or a model name. That's what Sammy and I both thought. We just figured, all right, that's the model name. Let's see what they decide to come out with. So then I woke up nice and early in the morning on August 1st, and I look at my phone, go on Twitter, and I see Top Thrill 2. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. That is going to go down as one of the stupidest coaster names I think ever created. See, and it works for certain rides like X2. It just sounds natural when you say it. X2, they both sound fine. Same with like Twister 2. It sounds fine. But Top Thrill, no one calls it Top Thrill. Everyone calls it Dragster. So even if they called it Dragster 2.0, I would have been fine with that. But Top Thrill 2. See, when I first started saying it, it sounded really stupid and unnatural. It's grown on me a little bit. I'm still just going to call it Dragster because I'm going to call it Top Thrill 2. But yeah, I think Cedar Point had the opportunity here to turn this into something really cool. But I'm just hoping that because they done what they did, that they're just saving up to get a really big coaster in, say, 2026 or 7 or whatever it is. Because in my opinion, they should have gone with Intamin. And it's not that I discredit Zamperla as a company. They just haven't had the opportunity to really get their feet wet with a coaster like this. And I think having them start with this is a bit of a risk. And I know that the only reason they went with Zamperla is because it was the cheapest option compared to Intamin. I think Intamin could have come in. They could have added that airtime bump on the switch track launch, just like Pantheon and Totatus have. And honestly, I think they could have done a little more after the top hat too. There's definitely a little bit of room there. It's very tight, but Cedar Point could have found a way. But
like, imagine if they did
Dragster still exists.
A giant loop, like full throttle or something, and maybe you could even have it start braking, like partially down the drop of the loop.
Exactly.
Like that'd be nice.
They could have gone with the same layout, or not same layout, but similar elements to the Superman coaster in Australia or the Accelerator coaster with like I call it Millennium Force-esque overbanks, like over that little pond where what do you call it is the suspended coaster. Like they could have done so much more with that. But Colin, I'm gonna go in on what you just said. They cheaped out, all right? So let's just call it what it is. There's maintenance issues at Carowinds. There's maintenance issues at Cedar Point. Like, I don't know. Like, people have been throwing stones at Six Flags, but like, I think Cedar Point is struggling with their turnstiles, like every other park is. And I think Cedar Point's been a cash rich business. But if you follow what's going on with what they're saying publicly, I think they had to cheap out. I don't think they have the cash to invest in, but they couldn't keep Dragster shut down.
Mm-mm.
Like I think they were in a rock and a hard place, and I think they made a real big mistake.
They did. They could have capitalized on so much better. Like Colin alluded to, I think it's the most absurd, egregious name you could call it. I was highly disappointed. And I concur with Colin. Dragster 2 would have been a hell of a lot better than Top Thrill. I was like, what the hell is Top Thrill? I at least would have taken Polaris or something. But come on now. They missed a huge opportunity like Darius alluded to. They really did.
I'm not knocking Zamperla. They're a New Jersey business, right? They're in Boonton, New Jersey. So like kudos to us, like Jersey proud. But I got to tell you, I'm a little nervous with Zamperla making 120 mile an hour, 420 foot tall, coaster. Even if the spike, they're building the spike and Intamin delivered the top hat. Like, show of hands, who feels 100% comfortable about this thing? I don't.
Mm-hmm. I have trepidation when I heard Zamperla.
Like after all the issues with Wild Mouse and the fact that they had to take weeks to get a coaster of that size running properly, that this could just be a giant can of worms. It has potential to be more difficult to deal with than Dragster, and if that does become the case, I mean, that sucks for Cedar Fair, because Dick Kinzel, who was the CEO when Dragster was first built, has gone on record saying that Dragster was the stupidest thing he ever did. And, I mean, could we be seeing the second stupidest thing the company has ever done? I don't think so. I'm not going to cast that much shame on Zamperla. I think they're a good company. They have potential. Everyone's got to start somewhere. I mean, you look at Intamin, they got started with these giant coasters, Superman the Escape, Tower of Terror, Superman, Millennium Force. So everyone has to start somewhere, and who knows, maybe this could be Zamperla's real breaking point.
Right.
But something I did want to touch on that I know I've mentioned to you guys privately, when looking at the ride experience for Top Thrill 2, right? You're going to have that first launch up to 74 miles per hour. Now, I'm hoping that this launch doesn't take that entire launch track to reach that speed, because if so, that is going to be one of the most pathetic launches known to Coaster World. And then by going only 74 miles per hour, they're advertising this as a rollback element. You're going to go up, you're not even going to hit the twist, and then you're going to roll back. So for those of you that have ridden Icebreaker, right, you know how that first launch is kind of a dud, but that's fine because it's just to kind of get you going. That's barely a portion of the ride length. With Top Thrill 2, that's a third of the entire experience. So by wasting that much ride time on an element that's going to do nothing, I think they're kind of just wasting potential. If you had that first launch go up to 90, 100 miles per hour, which it's definitely capable of doing. If they're using in Drive Tech LSMs, we've seen crazy acceleration achieved, especially by Gerstlauer and even Intamin. Look at Red Force. That thing gets up to 112 in just a short launch track, probably around the same length as Dragster. So it's very, very doable for them to get up to 90 to 100 miles per hour. And then you get up to the twist, you get a sort of real rollback, and then come back down. I think that would be cool. But another issue I have with this whole rollback element is the whole reason why rollbacks are so elusive and so looked after is because they're rare. If they happen all the time, people would just kind of be like, whatever. Because, again, I personally have not experienced a rollback on Dragster or Ka. I've come close, but never got one. From what I understand, it doesn't really feel that special. You're just going down speed and coming to a stop, kind of like Superman the Escape at Magic Mountain. Yeah. Not really a crazy feeling per se, but it's the fact that, whoa, I got a rollback. That's super rare. But by taking that away, taking away the rareness and the specialty of it, you kind of devalue the entire element. Like you look at Pantheon, for example, the rollback on Pantheon, that's probably the weakest part of the ride because you don't really feel much of anything on it, at least in my opinion. So that's just the way I see it. I think that first element is a waste. But then from there, I mean, that backwards acceleration to 100, going up that spike, the spike's going to be awesome. I'm sure you're going to get a high on it. And then, of course, you'll have the same layout as usual. I did hear somewhere that they're going to put a trim on the top, which if they do, that makes the ride immediately worse immediately. So please don't put a trim on the top of that. That had one of the best drops of all time, just because of back row, you get that crazy whip. So I hope that stays that way. And I know it sounds like I'm being very negative about Top Thrill 2. I'm still excited about it. I'd much rather have this than have no Dragster at all. But I definitely think they could have gone further with this whole ride, in my opinion.
Also,
all right, I'm gonna jump in now with my opinion because I haven't given it yet. I know all you guys have kind of complained a little bit. I'm gonna give more positives about it in mine because honestly, yeah, there's a couple sucky things about it, but it's gonna be a good ride at the end of the day. So think about it like this, right? You're walking into the same infield that Dragster had. A little confusing, but I did hear that like it's gonna you're gonna walk through like race shops, which will be pretty cool. Lots of theming, that's gonna be awesome. You're gonna walk into the station. I'm sure they'll try to dispatch as many as possible because the theoretical capacity seems similarly to Dragster, even though there's less trains. 2 more people on a train, not too bad. The seats are raised a little bit higher, so it's going to be a little more intense, especially going down that the spiral drop on the top hat, which is I think that's going to be the craziest part. But I'm calling the first launch a cable snap rollback because if the cable snaps, that's about how far you get up. So maybe feel something like intensity like that. I don't know, probably not, but hey, we'll see. And then the spike looks awesome, and then same dragster, can't be mad about that. And yeah, so at the end of the day, it seems like can't be too bad, right?
I mean, another thing about the rollback is in the same park you have Maverick, and Maverick gets to about the same speed as the first launch in half the track length, and so it's like the best part of most launches is that initial acceleration when you hit, and Dragster, you're going to be going at like half the acceleration of Maverick. And then by the time you're getting to that last launch, you're going to be going really fast, but you're just going to increase from already going really fast. And
But it also depends because it's like if you start the first launch and you're like going from like 0 to 74 pretty fast, and the rest of the launch you're just going 74. That can be pretty good. But if you're building up the whole time,
I feel like it's kind of disappointing that they're doing that what you just said, because they could go higher than 74. Like, why not go to like a little higher than 74, get up halfway up the tower, and then on the way back, we saw in the animation, and you never know if the animation is going to be exact, but the spike, you're no more than 3/4 of the way up. Like, it looked almost like you were like just over halfway up. And I feel like they should make it a little bit more big on the movements, and even if that means the last launch is less acceleration.
Yeah, I got a rollback before, and like Colin alluded to earlier, I was excited because I got it before Top Thrill eventually closed. Top Thrill Drax, excuse me. And yeah, it's just like, I got up and came down. It's like underwhelming.
I don't know, man. Like I've seen some weird things. This one, like this is not very Cedar Point. Like they're either they either, to my earlier point, are struggling with cash, which I think is realistic. But I don't know. Switch tracks, like there's so many things about this that make me worry about, in particular, throughput, right? Like I don't know. Like you guys have given me some hope. Like maybe there's going to be some cool theming and some shops. That's definitely, glass half full thinking. But I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm a little concerned. I'm hoping if Great Adventure even thinks about doing anything with Ka, that they listen to this video.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people have been predicting or saying that, oh, now Ka is going to get that treatment. It's not going to happen. Ka is in a state now. Sure, it has its downtime still, but Ka was always a more reliable coaster than Dragster.
Yes, it was.
Always go to Great Adventure and go to Cedar Point, and Ka would have more uptime. That's just always the way it's been. Dragster, personally, I very rarely had to deal with its unreliability. I got very lucky across 2018, 2019, 2021. I got 7 rides on it, and that's with no fast lane and trying to avoid waiting in long lines, and there were long lines. So I'm pretty happy I got on Dragster as many times as I did. But Ka, it's just not going to need that treatment, if you ask me. But then going back to Top Thrill 2, I think the silver lining of it all is that the whole area looks to be getting a huge refresh.
Yes.
I love the theme. I always have loved the theme of Dragster, and it looks like they're pretty much keeping the same theme, just building on it a little bit. That whole CP racing thing looks like they're expanding it out into the midway. And I think that this could be the start of a whole brand or a whole area revitalization for that part of the park. I think they could turn that whole midway into like a racing area, maybe put a brand new coaster on the other side once they get rid of Corkscrew. They already got rid of the 2 flat rides and moved them to boardwalk, so that clears up some room there too. So I do think that this is definitely a little un-Cedar Point-like. I figured they would have gone all the way, gone super big, but they didn't. But at the end of the day, they're keeping Dragster. They're doing something cool with it. It's better than nothing.
What is going on with the station queue? Is it going to be right there and there where the trains used to be stored at?
It looks pretty much the same as the original Dragster.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the middle again. It does have a roof and a fence around it. So, but it's still within the queue line of Dragster. Also, another thing about Ka is that Ka was built doing basically anything they could do to improve on Dragster in terms of the design of the coaster, while like Dragster got a lot of replacements and stuff over the years, but there's a lot of just things that you can't quickly fix without renovating the entire ride like they're doing now. But they were able to put those in on Ka, and it'll probably last longer. And they have Zumanjaro on Ka, and I feel like they wouldn't want to disrupt that. But who knows?
Anything else?
We lost our host.
So we wow. Oh well.
I also love the
I know.
animation that you see Iron Dragon running like 2 trains off the block, and like they're both in the same block zone.
Yeah.
Now is the spike's going over or under? It's gonna go under Iron Dragon, the spike.
Isn't it going
Over.
kind of
Over? Wow.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
way
it's
over.
Wow.
Isn't the like one of Iron Dragon's turns goes under part of the spike, like one support? Yeah.
The last turn.
Yeah.
I do like, however, though, they made the spike look exactly like Intamin, so like it all blends in well.
I think. See, the thing is, Intamin and Zamperla and all the manufacturers, they can all make anything. Like realistically, Zamperla could, if they had the track design, build B&M style track. Anyone can do it. They're all fully capable shops, and I'm sure they worked with Intamin to get the design schematics of the track and to very similarly replicate it, because they needed to make it work. They don't want it to feel like you're going on one section of track and it's a lot smoother, and then like Dragster, it's not a rough ride at all. But if you went from brand new glossy smooth track to Dragster track, it'd probably feel a little different.
Well, you do know a lot of the guys from Zamperla, like the newer guys, were from Intamin.
Well, regardless, companies use designs of their own because they have patented designs, but there's cases where they can use their like copyrighted material, basically.
Right. I mean, but like being optimistic again, who was Intamin before like Superman at New England and Millennium Force? Like they
were
took a
B&M's construction company.
All these companies take shots in the dark, and most of like a lot of the bigger guys, we see them work out pretty well, and they upgrade through the years.
You know what?
Crazy reliable, but
Superman put them on the map. And I'm sure all you guys like Colin, Jack, Darius, Sammy, this is me, love it just as much as I do. Superman, the original 400-foot coaster, the shuttle. You liked it, Colin?
I did.
I love it. Too bad you guys didn't get to do the new 2011 and on side going backwards. It's been closed for the longest.
Well,
And
we've
I
been
did
on
confirm-
Dragster for a very long time, so we got to start moving along on some of the other questions. We have a lot to get
Okay.
through, so I'm going to start moving us through here. You think we'll hear anything about the Nitro repaint tomorrow? I think that they're going to hold off on really giving much of anything away with 2024. I do think that, knowing Brian, he may let a couple things slip through the cracks, some of the more minor things, like some of the stuff I've already revealed, like the paintball building getting removed, among a few other things. But I don't know
I
that
think
we're
the
going to
Nit-
hear much for 2024.
I think the
Yeah.
Nitro repaint's the one thing we may actually hear because, first of all, the trains have already been repainted, and they said something about it last year. I
True.
feel like they're kind of open about it at this point.
Yeah, John did say flat out that it was getting repainted.
Of course.
So
I hope that either you know what, switch it. Have blue track and gray supports. Make the track damn near blue. That'd be nice. Like you say, Colin. Like you did say that, right? Gray supports and blue track.
Yeah.
Yes, I love
Even
blue.
the opposite could look good.
Yeah, that'll look. I wouldn't mind as long as you get those colors in there. It needs a new repaint. What you think, Darius?
I don't know. Listen, I don't get excited about paint. I get excited about
Exactly.
I don't care if they paint that thing red, black, and green. Like, as long as it's smooth, I'm happy.
Yeah, I know. Colin would hate that. Red, blue, and green.
All
Right,
we're gonna
Colin?
move on to the next one here. They should upgrade the big wheel light to LEDs. So I'm going to let Jack handle this because he knows everything there is to know about lighting.
Yeah, so the big wheel has LED lights. They put them in years ago. But the wiring is apparently broken, something about it, and so that's why it hasn't been turned on in the last few years. The wires like all connect at the center, and then as the Ferris wheel spins, it's just touching these contacts, and that is a part that can pretty easily go bad. And I just don't think they are looking to fix it. But if they were to put in anything new, it'd be great to get like a pixel mappable LED rig, because the LEDs on there are just single color LED. Like they can change color, but they just turn on and off. You can't like pixel map and have chases around the Ferris wheel like we see on a lot of Ferris wheels. But I think it'd be a great addition, and also it would really make that area look cool at night. Like, especially now that they have those truss arches sort of permanently because of the festivals. Imagine at the end of it at night if you just had a giant light up Ferris wheel. But so I agree. I just don't think that it's going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah. Next up, I don't believe much of that leak that L2 Orion posted on Twitter. So there's a lot behind this supposed leak. I can't really discuss it all on stream, but essentially this supposed leak originated from a post on the Great Adventure Connoisseur's Facebook page, everyone's favorite cesspool. Anyways, this person made the post and detailed all of these things. I'm actually going to pull it up just so everyone has a reference of what I'm talking about, because there was a lot of crazy stuff in there. Absolutely crazy stuff. So let me see if I can find it here.
I'm just going to say, I don't think I would trust, don't base any of this as fact.
it's a very unreliable source.
I don't think, this is not a reliable source. This is a extremely unreliable source.
Okay, so I can't find the tweet. If any of you have the screenshot saved or something, let me know, because I can't find it.
I think I have it.
I'm gonna see if I can find it in here. Damn it.
I have it. It's on Reddit.
Okay. Can you send me the link or something, or put it in the private chat?
Yeah.
Just so everyone has a frame of reference for what I'm discussing, because it's definitely some eye-catching stuff. That's for sure.
Wait, which one? Because there was a lot of them.
RMC Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, that one. Okay. Okay, yeah. I have it.
That was
I
the
have it
least
up.
of the crazy things in there.
I just sent it.
Okay. Yep, there we go. Okay. Let me see if I can crop this in a way that it doesn't reveal the identity of the person.
No, it's already.
You can see the profile picture though.
Oh yeah. Well,
Okay, that's better.
I don't think.
Oh, we lost Jack. All right. Here we go. So, arena being torn down and possible multi-launch Giga coaster being built, twister and parachutes being removed to make room for an Aquaman-style roller coaster, front gate markers for a new coaster that will go across the entrance, rumored to be Rolling Thunder clone, possibly armed seed, dozen new flat rides being installed sidewalks and parking lot completely redone, log flume refurbished to its original 74 look, food menu being expanded, new shows and entertainment options, hours being extended. So,
That's a lot.
All right, back just in time.
I'm just gonna get this right out of the way. Majority of this is not true. Log flume is being refurbished. It's safe to assume a lot of sidewalks are being redone. The markers at the front gate could be for a coaster, could not. We don't know for sure. Parachutes, as far as I know, there are currently no plans to actually remove the tower and twister. I believe it should be reopening soon because it is.
Yeah, we just got a new part for it, so they were trying to get it open for this weekend, but I'm not sure what the deal with that is.
So there's no reason to get rid of that. And parachutes, from what we understand from Brian, actually, he would like to find a way to repurpose the tower. So that's not true. Arena has no signs of being torn down yet. There's no demolition permits that have been filed with Jackson. Nothing along those lines.
Great Adventure would never get a multi-launch Giga coaster because then it would just be too similar to King of the Ka with a top hat.
True. But
like that just doesn't make why would you get another top hat Giga like that? Like there's no point. Blitz I understand, like a small one, yeah, but Giga no.
We got this out of the way. I don't want to talk about it anymore because it's pretty ridiculous. So we're going to continue on through the rest of the chat here. Let's see. What do you think of the new coaster coming to Universal Hollywood? It looks freaking awesome. It looks so good. So good. And if it's going to have those drifting cars that I guess would be sort of similar to Guardians at Epcot, just not with the full spinning. But on a Blitz layout like that, you don't really need that. It's basically Velocicoaster with slightly spinning cars and a more fast-paced layout. That sounds awesome.
If anyone has played Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, there's a coaster type in there that has the drift coaster where the back of the thing tails out. That's exactly what this is going to be like.
And it's themed to Fast and Furious. It's a really cool IP to finally theme a coaster after.
Yeah,
I wish Universal Orlando was getting this, honestly, but Hollywood really needs it badly.
Universal Orlando, they can just close their Fast and Furious ride. It doesn't need to be.
Oh my God, that thing's horrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
That is the worst ride I've ever been on. They took King Kong or whatever it was, or San Francisco, and rethemed it. The ride system is horrible. The crash test dummy in there driving, it's the worst ride on the planet.
So I didn't miss anything when I went to Universal in 21 to do Velocicoaster and Hagrid's. Thank God. I didn't waste my time with that nonsense.
Anyways, we're going to continue on. I would definitely encourage you to go take a look at concepts for that ride. It looks absolutely amazing.
Hey, Colin, can I? Oh, wait, you said we're done. Never mind.
No,
Jeez.
Go for it.
So I'm not saying there's any merit to the Rolling Thunder clone, but there is a rumor that RMC's design for Air Force One could be used to revitalize old coaster designs. Maybe.
What do you mean by that?
If you look at the Air Force One system that they kind of built out, it's a very inexpensive wood coaster platform. Forget the inversions and everything else. You could start bringing back the old like wooden twister designs with or without inversions relatively inexpensively with like really easy assembly. If you look at what they were able to do with Air Force One, like that's a pretty phenomenal layout for the cost. And so I don't think it would ever be an exact replica of Rolling Thunder, but like to use that system to give us something similar with inversions, I don't think is out of the question.
Air Force One is one hell of a coaster. Like Darius and I spoke on the phone.
For the last
Go ahead.
10
Thank
seconds.
you. I could have done it 10 to 15 times if I wanted to. I could only do 7 painful rides. Like, I gave up after 7.
Roller Coaster Tycoon autocomplete at its worst.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Hey, it could have been worse. It could have just been straight track.
Yeah. That was my only thought. Like, I agree. I don't think there's a lot of merit to it right now, but like I think Great Adventure might do something like getting rid of that coaster. Someone's got to make up for it. So why not use the Air Force design? Give us a similar layout with 1 or 2 or 3 or 7 inversions.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, tie in Rolling Thunder and Scream Machine. Pay homage to both of them. That'd be nice.
You notice my little 7 inversions that I slipped in there.
That Scream Machine, Great American Scream Machine. Yes, sir. Classic.
Let's see.
And why wouldn't they tear down the arena? Like, what are they going to do with it?
Nothing.
Exactly. Tear it down.
Tear it down. Give us a coaster. Sure.
Exactly.
Let's go.
What do you guys think is going to happen with Falcon's flight? It's going to be built. I think it'll open. It's pretty far along at this point, though we've seen coasters that are fully completed that have never opened. So, I mean,
there was some representatives from over there at Great Adventure a couple weeks ago now.
I think they're more talking about the like wars that are breaking out in Saudi Arabia right now.
Well, let's look at it this way. There's been plenty of countries through wars that have had roller coasters that have stayed through them. So
no, I just feel like it's probably going to end up getting delayed or something. Like it'll probably eventually open, but because they've invested the money, the coaster physically exists already. Like the steel is there.
And the footers.
And they're not going to waste that.
No.
But I have a feeling for the next few months there might be some delay in the construction.
Granted, there is that coaster at Bollywood Parks, or whatever the park is called, GCI or Gravity Group. I forget which one it is.
Yeah.
That was fully built, fully tested, and then the park closed. Never opened.
Yep.
So anything can happen over there.
This could happen with Falcon's flight. Like,
yeah.
Also, there was a park that opened for like a month or something.
Ring Racer, you thinking of?
No. They had, or maybe it never even opened, but they had a B&M Hyper, a
B&M Hyper. In the
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep, that place.
It never opened.
I don't know if it ever opened. And all the pictures on RCDB, it looks like the entire thing is just covered in dust. Like it looks like the station has just never run.
Yeah. Hey, I think the one thing, listen, the Saudis are
Hot Go Dream World.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bunch of Hot Go Dream Worlds, but whatever
Hot Go Dream World in Wanghua. I'm not going to go any further with that.
Yeah. The difference between like an Asian build that like gets shut down that was like government capitalized, it's all fake money. And like if there's no demand, then it's hard to open. The difference between the Saudis, they've been in conflict since, the beginning of time, but like recent conflicts from 2014 and on, they're always in conflict. But they're highly capitalized. So like, I think this thing's going to happen. I'm just not confident that like people are going to want to go to it from this neck of the woods. But I think, if you look at the need for entertainment, whether it's in Saudi or, a couple of other countries adjacent, like, I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be a limited access park. I don't think a lot of Americans are going to go over there. But I think in market, people are going to love it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be built. I just think personally, I wouldn't want to go to Saudi Arabia right now, or anytime soon. So, but we'll see. I mean, it might be like physically impossible for people to go there, depending on what's going on. But the people in Saudi Arabia, they can ride it. The track's there. Like, it'll be fun. Hopefully someday I'll get to ride it. It looks like a really cool ride.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to definitely open. And at least it's not going to be like another Orlando roller coaster situation in which stop, never happens, comes to fruition. But this is coming to fruition. Let's just hope that it stays open or whatever happens to the park.
All right, so next up, will you be there on Monday? Great Adventure? No, I will not be there on Monday.
No.
I'll be working.
Let's see. Next up, have you heard any updates about the parachute tower? No,
Wow.
It has not changed at all since the beginning of the year. The parachutes are still on it. All I've heard is what I've been told from Brian, the park president, was that he would like to see it repurposed somehow or reopened somehow. He doesn't want it torn down, which I agree with.
That's great. The last of the Mohicans.
What did you think of the now former homemade coaster Shadow Stalker near my hometown? Well, we have the creators of Shadow Stalker on the bottom of your screen, so you can ask them.
Wait, what's the question?
What did you think? Well, I guess it's more of a question for me.
Sammy,
Yeah,
was
why
it
is that?
Sammy,
I was like, why is that?
was it a
question for
good
me?
ride? Was it a good ride?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed Black Stallion more. It was more aggressive, but Shadow Stalker was very good, and it's a shame that East Brunswick won't let it operate.
Yeah.
Oh well, though.
Oh well.
So is it standing but not operating?
Yeah, for now until like
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Soon to be.
We got to start a GoFundMe to get your legal fund.
Yeah, it'll be relocated somewhere hopefully.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up,
What's the
do you
price?
think Great
tag?
Adventure will ever get a Giga?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I've
believe
tried
so.
like 3 times now. I don't know.
Eh.
I believe
It's like-
so.
It's been like the rumored thing since Giga coasters have existed. So
Yes. Sammy, do you know what happened to Toro yesterday mid-afternoon? It was down for a little while, finally opened, got up next in line, and they had to open and close the gates like 50 times first.
I'll give you the answer I give everyone. El Toro is currently experiencing a minor delay in
All right,
operations.
enough
We
of
do
that.
not know how long it will take.
How many rides do you think I should get on El Toro? As many as you feel like you'd like to get.
yes.
You can probably get a bunch.
Yeah.
X2 is amazing until that last element. I love the last element. I thought that was really cool. That
Yeah,
was the
it was
main
like-
reason I wanted to ride the back row was because of the last Raven dive, because I know that's notoriously insane in the back row, and it definitely lived up to that. So, yeah. What are the pros and cons of both Six Flags California parks? Well, we'll start with the most con-ridden one, which is Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
For one, they can't keep their rides open. They can't run multiple trains on the rides that they manage to have open. There's basically no food or drink locations anywhere in the park. You have to march around the entire park to find one, and that's out of the ones that are open. So good luck finding any. They don't have enough non-coasters, and the non-coasters they do have are always closed. The park is very dirty. There's a lot of trash and litter picking that really should be done that isn't done. The employees are very hit or miss. Some of them are very kind and really care about their job. Other of them, they would rather be literally anywhere else. And the operations, for the most part, are pretty bad. Some of the worst I've ever seen. 4 or 5 minute dispatches on Batman the Ride, 2 train operations on Wonder Woman, which is an almost clone of Jersey Devil, and every single cycle, it's stopping and not rolling straight into the lift hill, which if that happened at Great Adventure, I think the operators there would have a conniption. But there are some pros. For one, their coaster collection, out of the ones I at least got to ride, is spectacular. There's not a single bad coaster there. It was just mind-blowing how many great coasters they have. It's in a really, really cool setting. I love the mountain and the terrain. And there's some really cool areas like Samurai Summit. I can tell that at one point that was a really cool area, but they've kind of let it get neglected.
Decrepit.
There's some areas of the park that really need shade badly. DC Universe is one that sticks out to me. There's no shade there at all. Same with the underground. Desperately need shade. But One area that really surprised me that nobody has told me about is the whole entrance plaza area by Roaring Rapids and Tatsu. One of the coolest looking areas in Six Flags Park. Felt like Frontier Trail at Cedar Point. But I'm going to put a pin in that for just a second because we have gotten another super chat from John Joseph. Thank you, John. If it would let me click.
Who did that?
Oh, there we go. John, thank you for the super chat. So my prediction for Saw X is it will take place where Wicked Woods was, only because Manor and Fears are coming back in the Mach 1 building. So Conjuring seems to be at the former location of the Lab in Big Top Terror, which is next to King Dakar. And I always thought it was a shame that Wicked Woods wasn't around, so I do think it'd be cool to see that whole area come back, especially now that Log Flume isn't even open anyways. So there probably isn't any issues using that space, but we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe we'll be able to find out tomorrow. I guess we'll see.
I had heard Aftermath maybe taking Wicked Wood spot first, so I don't know where Saw X would be.
Obviously, there's a maze still going in the Metropolis area.
Yeah,
I don't think
We've
so.
seen them doing it. We've seen them doing work on it.
They're building it. Like, well, they're not building it, but
They moved it.
They're maintaining it right now. Like, there's pictures of them replacing light bulbs in the maze. They're gonna keep it there for till the end of Fright Fest, even if they take it down after this year for something. But for the next 2 months, it's gonna be there.
I mean, those buildings are pretty easily like movable, so they could easily just like truck the building somewhere else in the park.
That's I don't think they would do that.
They moved them from where they were to where they are now. It's not that complicated.
But they had to rewire them once they got into the new spot. They wouldn't.
No, they haven't wired them because you'd see the electrical lines going. It's behind Justice League. You'd be able to see the electrical lines. They're not there yet, so they have not wired it.
But
all right, well, we're gonna move on back to where I was. So I'm pretty much done with Magic Mountain.
Okay.
Back to Discovery Kingdom. So the one con is that their standout coaster really isn't that great. Joker is definitely one of the weaker RMCs, unfortunately. I wanted to like it more than I did. It's still a good ride for what it is, but I just kind of wish it did more. But in terms of pros, it is one of the nicest looking Six Flags parks, which is completely opposite of what I had been told. I had been told it was crappy, like on the scale of Six Flags America. Very nice park, and the theming was really cool too. Of course, DC Universe is DC Universe. It's not the greatest, but the rest of the park has a jungle theme, sort of inspired by Golden Kingdom with a slight twist on it. And Golden Kingdom is one of my favorite areas of Great Adventure. So Discovery Kingdom, that whole park atmosphere is awesome. And then the back half of the park turns into like mini SeaWorld. And some of the exhibits are actually like on the level of SeaWorld. Very surprising. So Discovery Kingdom is a very underrated park. I just wish they had a better standout coaster. But other than that, great park.
Yeah.
Now, because there's a lot to unpack there, I'm just going to skip to the next question, which is, only time I'll ever go to Cali is to ride the coasters. Con, how painful was the traffic? Sitting there watching my dad lose his mind was pretty painful.
Oh, my God.
The traffic just
Oh,
never
my God.
ends. I-5 is one of the most traffic-ridden roads I've ever dealt with, especially down in LA. When we were going to San Diego from Anaheim, getting on, we had to get off and back on just to try to dodge some of the traffic. We passed El Toro Road at one point, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, it was just not fun. I mean, I don't like California as a state at all. The best thing about it is the weather. Everything else about it, I'm not a fan of.
Listen, I love California. I know it's at 40 million people, the most populated state in the country. Let me tell you something. The damn I-5, you know how many hours it cost me at parks the last 2 days I was there? Going from the San Francisco area to the Anaheim, LA area, a lot of hours. You thought your dad was bad. When you and Salmon were speaking to me, I don't know how I didn't lose my freaking mind. How am I going to get to the Santa Monica Park and have enough time to get to Magic Mountain? Oh, my God, that traffic killed it. I would have had probably two more hours of each of those parks had not been as disgusting. Wretched I-5 traffic. Oh, it's the worst. Up and down the whole state. Jesus Christ. Worse than a 95.
2-park maximum, Southern California.
I don't blame you. It was bad.
I don't blame you. Listen, Darius. You stick with 2 parks. Don't ever try to do 4 or 5 parks or more in California one day. Stick with 1 or 2. It's just too much traffic.
Yeah,
best time to travel.
We're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Does anyone know if Mr. Toro was going? According to my Instagram story poll, he is. So
good.
We'll see him there.
Damn.
That's good.
I think
Sam,
he's
you
planning
know-
Come on,
getting
Sammy, be nice.
close to 2,000. Yeah,
He's a
says
nice guy. Be nice.
All right.
No, I have
next
to
up.
board my tour every day.
Does your California trip make you love Great Adventure even more? Absolutely.
Yes.
I appreciate Great Adventure so
Yes.
much more after going to Magic
Oh
Mountain.
my God. Oh my God. I wanted to say something. I'm going to keep it short and compact. Listen, the pros and cons of the Magic Mountain, you said in your video. Listen, everything has gone down the drain. I can't believe I'm saying this. Magic Mountain. Discovery Kingdom had bad operations too. That's why I didn't get on that ride. What is that impulse called?
Oh, where'd he go?
We lost Ace.
If you guys are wondering why I'm quiet, my DoorDash order just got canceled.
Oh my God, terrible. But listen, Great Adventure is actually one of the, outside of Fiesta, Texas, is one of the best run parks this whole season. Everything's open, I have to say.
All
I
right,
appreciate
Ace,
that park.
we gotta move along to the
Yeah.
next question because we have a lot of questions to get through.
Okay.
El Toro.
Oh God, why would you do this?
El Toro.
Jesus Christ. Of course, El Toro.
El Toro by far.
El Toro.
Yeah, El Toro. I love X2, but El Toro. Darius?
Darius.
I'm going to agree with El Toro.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's
Yeah, screw you, Sammy.
apples to carrots.
I know.
Yeah, it is kind of a hard compare. That's why they're like neck and neck.
Well, Sammy, we got another hard comparison for you. El Toro or Ghost Rider?
Ooh,
I
no,
think
El
El Toro.
That's not hard.
El Toro.
Not hard. El Toro, of course. The greatest.
Toro.
Top 10.
Listen,
What?
I'm a Ghost Rider fan, and
Whoa,
I want to
yeah.
RMC it.
What?
I want to RMC
RMC
Ghost
it?
Rider. Yep.
What, into metal?
I want to, yeah,
Oof.
metal track.
Wow.
Dude, come on. No inversions, no
Wow.
recontouring. Just slam it. Like that coaster would be so intense.
It would be nice. I bet you guys don't probably agree with that. These other guys. Sammy, Jack, and Colin.
Yeah,
With
no,
what?
I love Ghost Rider.
Ghost
Exactly.
Rider
I
is
love
a
it.
really good ride.
Ghost Rider at night. Oh,
Yeah, I got it twice. Last year. Oh my
so-
God. It's awesome at night, Darius. I did it twice. Oh my God. One of my favorite.
but El Toro all the way. Come on.
Of course. Everybody concurs.
I don't
Yeah,
concur.
except for
I do
Sammy,
not
because
concur.
Sammy's weird.
I
Anyway,
Oh,
love here,
Sammy is
I have
weird.
an actual
I love
opinion.
Magnum top 5 at Cedar Point. I say top 5 at Cedar Point. I go as far as to say top 3 at Cedar Point.
I concur. As Ace would
Because-
say.
Okay, so
For
what's
me-
number 1 at Cedar Point?
All right, so it goes Steel Vengeance, Maverick, Magnum,
Wow.
Dragster, Millie. I'm not a huge
Oh,
fan
whoa.
of Millie.
Millie
Wow.
at 5?
Millie is just
Jesus
not that
Christ.
great to me.
What?
What does it do?
It's intense. It never lets up.
Yeah, it's so good.
It
Yeah,
has
no.
a first turn,
No.
which is
No.
intense. And then
Mm-mm.
from there, it's just a rattle trap with a little bit of floater here and there and a bunch of forceless turns. I used to like it a
Once
lot
again,
more.
this is a generational difference.
Yeah, exactly.
The youngins.
Exactly.
The
I
youngins
love
know no
Millie.
different.
Millie's number 2 at Cedar Point for me.
Number one is Steel Vengeance. Number 2 is Millennium Force. Number 3 is Maverick. Number 4 is Top Thrill Dragster. So I'm going by the old Top Thrill Dragster. Number 5 is Gatekeeper. Number 6 is Valraven. Number 7 is Raptor. Number 8 is that Painful. They need to fix that thing with the crushing thigh thing with the lap bar. Number 8 is Magnum XL.
No.
Yeah. I'm not until they fix the lap bar. Then I bring it up to top 5, top 6. If they fix the lap bar.
So
The
Cedar
lap
bring it
bar
up.
is the
for
best
me
part of the
goes
ride.
Steel Vengeance, Maverick, Magnum, Dragster, Millie. Then
That's
Raptor,
laughable.
Gatekeeper,
It's hilarious.
Rougarou, Gemini,
Oh my-
Valraven.
Oh my God. But what?
Or no, Gemini, Rougarou, Valraven.
Oh my God, I can't believe you lost it. You put the Valraven at 8.
Ruru
Wow.
isn't on my top 20.
No, not even my top. This is my worst coaster. I like Corkscrew better than Rougarou.
Get out of here. All right, next up.
Wait, no, I think it's
Well, I guess we all have different opinions on this one. If you ride my magic seat for Magnum is row 17, just like El Toro, exact same ideology. Ride there, and the whole key, you have to be a little more strict with your lap bar because it pushes down nonstop on Magnum. So I take one hand, stiff arm it, and make sure I hold the lap bar up the entire ride. The other hand goes up in the air. And that is how you have the best ride you can on Magnum.
Rodeo
I
style.
always liked it better in the back than the
exists.
front. I know people rave about row 3. Row 3 is not that great. If anything, ride row 2. Just like El Toro. Row 2 and row 17.
Row 3 is
Rodeo-
wild. Row 3 is the
rodeo
best.
style.
Colin sucks.
But yeah, definitely ride row 17. I like the right side better because on the first hill after the drop, it's a really gradual hill, but there's a weird kink in the drop as you go down. And when you're sitting on the right side, you kind of get thrown out of the seat. It's really, really cool. But anyways, let's see here. What's your favorite RMC hybrid, Colin? That would be Iron Gwazi. What's everyone's favorite retired coaster at Great Adventure? If I had to pick from ones that I have ridden, it obviously is Rolling Thunder. But if it's out of ones just based off of what I've experienced that I also haven't ridden, I would probably say I'm leaning Batman side of Chiller. But the thing is that Chiller doesn't have the vertical spike that Mr. Freeze does, and that is by far my favorite part of Mr. Freeze. So I'm almost kind of leaning towards either Scream Machine or Ultra Twister.
Ultra Twister.
Wow.
Actually, but you forget, Chiller had a recontoured ending.
Yeah.
People don't remember that.
Yeah.
The corkscrew ending.
Yep. I'll tell you one thing. That would be obviously the Chiller both sides, but that Batman side, which was a rare credit. It was a long, elusive credit. I love that top hat, that blue Batman. I loved it because I used to ride Chiller 4 times on each side in the 90s, so I was blessed. Not many people got to do that.
Chiller,
4
Batman
times.
side, original corkscrew ending.
So awesome. I love those rides. Wow,
Let's
incredible.
see. Moving on. Best row on El Toro is 17. I also like 18, but it's rougher. Row 2 is also really good if you want to try the front.
Yep.
But those are for smoothness. They're not necessarily the most aggressive. I think row 18 is the most aggressive.
Yeah, of course.
Along
Like
with row 3 and row 4. The second car on El Toro was weirdly aggressive. Let's see. Epic Universe looks like it may become the best park in the world.
It's gonna be up there.
Purple Racers looks like one of the best coasters out there as long as it runs with enough speed. The Donkey Kong coaster looks super cool. The How to Train Your Dragon coaster looks like Hagrid's with different theming, which is going to be great. And the Monsters coaster looks really cool. And then on top of that, you have some of the best theming in the world.
Wow.
Just looks like an amazing park.
Oh, just blows Disney away.
Yes.
Beyond away, the third park. Incredible. Because the original name, the rumor I had in the 2000 teens before my friend and I went to Universal and Disney was Steel. I don't know if you heard of that, Darius, that they had a rumor that was going to be, the third park was going to be Steel when they had the third park to plan for. But I'm glad I didn't go through. So this is much better. Epic Universe is perfect. I'm excited about 25.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Can't wait.
I think the one question I have, which is it's always my question with Universal, is their throughput, man.
Which one?
I always worry about Universal parks and their throughput. Like rider throughput.
Yeah.
Their rides are I don't know. They focus on experience. They want you like in the moment, in the line. And so the theming is outrageous.
It is.
You spend a lot of time there, unless you, even with their version of the Fast Pass, you spend a lot of time in lines. That's why when I typically go there, I do the Orlando Informer, and I go there like you just zip through the lines because it's just enthusiasts.
That event looks amazing.
Wow.
Anybody going to that event this year? Any of them?
I haven't, and I'm not planning on it yet, but I've heard from our friends Ken and Lori that it's amazing.
Yeah, I've gone pretty much every other year. I love it.
Let's see. I find it funny that El Diablo's archway is still there along with the platform. I think they're keeping that there to eventually put something there. I heard a rumor that a Piscetti Bowl could have gone there at some point, but then that might have gotten canned. I think that I still think they should hold off on doing anything with that until they decide to finally put a big coaster in between Ka and Toro.
That's never going to happen because of the maintenance road.
Regardless, it's been teased to me since the beginning of time. Well, not really, but ever since I first met John Winkler, that he's always said, Toro and Ka, they could use a new neighbor, and he's emphasized that for years. And I always thought maybe we'd get to see it happen. I remember everyone was thinking Jersey Devil would go right next to them. Obviously, that didn't happen. But I think there's a way they can definitely work around the maintenance road. Very easy to. And
there also used to be a coaster there.
Exactly.
So
yeah, but the maintenance road was right next to where the Zumanjaro queue was.
Again, regardless, they can find a way to position in such a way where the maintenance road can be there. I mean, you look at other parks that have much tighter footprints. They still have maintenance roads everywhere. They figure it out. So
tracks can go over roads.
Exactly. Well put, Jack. Listen, when there's a will, there's a way. You always remember that, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's a good motto.
Colin already knows that one.
Of course.
Trust me. They could have done just like they could have done Zumanjaro and preserve Rolling Thunder if it wasn't such bad, dilapidated shape.
And I saw, I'm just going to skip it since I'm mentioning it now. Someone had put, is there enough room to put an RMC reborn version of Rolling Thunder in its former spot? Which, of course, there is because it used to be there. So there's plenty of room because there used to be a ride in that same footprint.
Exactly.
But, let's see. We're going to continue past some of the stuff we already skipped. I will not be there on Monday, only Sunday. Let's see. Hey, Colin, how come you're wearing glasses? These are blue light glasses, just so the computer screens don't get to me too badly. Let's see. Look at a POV of Rolling Thunder the last year it was running. That thing sounded like it was going to derail around the turns. The sounds that thing made around the turns have been absolutely insane. Just
look at my hand.
Screeching. Yeah,
did a lot of that. Yep,
like
did a lot of that.
And all the track lube would like fly.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Jeez.
Great to bring back the hot. Okay, so from what I understand, the hot air balloon is likely to return in some form. I'm not saying you're going to get hot air balloon rides, but Great Adventure opened with the hot air balloon as its signature, I guess, not attraction, but that was its identity. And of course it got removed eventually, but with their whole theme, presumably of paying homage to 74, I think that would be a great thing to bring back. Not necessarily in the arena, probably closer to the front entrance. I think it'd be cool if they made it a permanent part of the front entrance and put it in the center before the turnstiles and had you like walk around it. I think that'd be pretty sweet. But
I think it would be just like Worlds of Fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Would Great Adventure do a Kid Flash clone near the park entrance? That's kind of what it's looking like right now over in that Metropolis area. Again, we don't know for sure. This is just a prediction. I'll wait until we find out more information. But as of right now, I'm predicting a Skyline Peace-Getty Bowl Kid Flash coaster to go over in that area. That may not be the only thing they put there, but probably, or at least could be, one of them. Yeah, this is the comment I was talking about. There was plenty of room because El Toro was built around Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder still existed with El Toro, so plenty of room. Let's see. Thoughts on Good Gravy? I think they should have named it Gravy Train instead of Good Gravy, but I think it's a really good addition for Holiday World. They desperately needed a coaster like that, and the announcement video was one of the best announcement videos that have been made in a while. It was super sarcastic, and I really enjoyed it. Definitely, in my opinion, a better announcement video than Cedar Point's for Top Hill 2. Jeez. Anyways, let's see. The animation concept gave me Orion vibes from Kings Island. This is in reference to Top Hill 2. I agree. I can definitely see where you got that. They need to bring back the Super TP in the concerts. I think the Northern Star Arena should be demolished and a new coaster should be put there. But I do agree that the Super TP should be brought back. That was very iconic, and it was a shame to see it removed back in 2012, 2013. I'm seeing a lot of people asking for our predictions on 2024 at Great Adventure, and we shared that earlier in the stream. So once this is over, you can go back. We well, some of us have the same opinions. Other of us are kind of way off somewhere else. But let's
I
see.
think I missed that.
Okay, fine. Sammy and Jack, what are your predictions for Great Adventure in 2024?
Jack, you can go first if you'd like.
Oh, I have absolutely no idea.
I
go.
think just okay. I think just a lot of restoration to the park in general, and we're gonna see a lot of like nicer, neater things. But that's kind of the majority of what I'll say, I guess.
Are they finally going to have pina colada at Rita's?
That would be a good addition.
I want them to bring back the root beer flavor at Rita's. That's the best flavor of ice, and they got rid of it.
Like, just bring pina colada back once.
Predictions of 2024: TLC for the park and a new coaster.
And pina colada at Rita's.
Yeah, pina colada. Oh, absolutely. Pina colada is a great drink. Oh, yeah.
He always finds a way to sneak a new coaster into every year's prediction.
Well, remember, there was a time, there was a time back in the times before your time. I'm sure you remember this, Darius. Great Adventure used to they have a new coaster every year. Like Viper, Skull Mountain, the Chiller, Batman Robin and Chiller for 95, 96, 97 every year. And then Medusa 2 years later.
Now,
so
I know a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people say they'd be disappointed if Great Adventure got Kid Flash. Think about it this way. If we get Kid Flash, that means Great Adventure has 16 roller coasters. That puts us back in the big leagues. So,
like with Magic Mountain and Cedar Point.
Come 2025, if the arena happens, that would be
17.
17.
Ooh, very
I
nice.
haven't seen these footers, but like Kid Flash is really low and compact.
Yes.
Like if these footers aren't like basically like 6 feet apart, I don't think it's Kid Flash.
Well, what they did at Fiesta Texas is they just poured a giant concrete pad.
Yes.
And then for one turn of the ride, there's a couple footers. But the ride itself looks like a portable to me. Did you guys see that on that too? Because they're anchoring the whole structure down the same way you would for a carnival style coaster.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me. I figured they would have done a more permanent installation, but
it's a very simple construction. I've gone past it a couple of times.
Oh wow.
I guess that's why they figured they could start in the middle of the summer and then have it open by Fright Fest, probably. Let's see here. Do you think they could have put Jersey Devil in Rolling Thunder's plot? Yes, they definitely could have, but I think a better spot for Jersey Devil. I think they should have put Jersey Devil where Joker is. Joker should have never been built on the lakefront because Jersey Devil layout is perfectly designed to fit there. It could have easily fit there. That would have been so much better of a spot for it instead of being tucked away in the middle of nowhere. And Joker could have gone somewhere else and been themed to Total Mayhem.
Wow, Total Mayhem. What a name. The original name.
Or they could have put it where the stadium, the Batman stadium is.
Oh, that's right.
DC themed.
What?
Then it would have been DC themed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you want it to be Joker, then yeah.
No, I thought you were talking about Jersey Devil.
No, Joker's going to
the free spin arena in Metropolis.
I heard Joker was originally supposed to go where Wonder Woman was.
Really?
Wow. That'd have been interesting.
That was like when like things just kind of started flying around, like speculation wise for it.
But we were also supposed to get a wing coaster like X-Flight, and then that never happened.
Wow.
Yeah, well, you know all the problems with X-Flight.
What problems?
X-Flight is good, right, Darius? X-Flight's good. I love it.
X-Flight.
You been on it, Jack?
Gatekeeper.
I've never been on X-Flight.
Gatekeeper's good, but nothing like Wild Eagle at Dollywood.
Wild Eagle's actually my favorite wing coaster.
That's my favorite too. I like it a little bit more than Gatekeeper. You too, Colin?
And
you been like a little
bit? My least favorite.
So what about Gatekeeper?
Well, I've only ridden 3 of them. I haven't been on X-Flight, so Gatekeeper's in the middle.
Yeah, that freaking Wild Eagles is awesome. Would you concur, Darius? Wild Eagle with that mountain. Oh my God.
Remember, Dollywood is my black hole right now. I haven't been there in years. I want to go.
Wow.
I'm missing credits. I can never make it there.
All right, we're gonna move along, Ace. Let's see here. Desperado or Steel Eel? I can't answer that, but Steel Eel's pretty good. I don't know if anyone. Actually, Gary probably can.
Desperado.
Desperado. That's in the borderline of California and Nevada.
That right outside of Vegas, dude. That thing's when it's running. Oh my god.
I had a chance to go on there, but I don't know why I didn't do it. I was just too tired. I was going on my state quest in 2016. I had a chance. I don't think it was open anyway. So
get it while the getting's good, man. I don't think that thing's gonna last.
I don't think it's even
open.
Oh
my god.
Yeah, it's been closed for a few years, but
it's been closed.
It's apparently the hotel that runs it does not plan to keep it closed. Apparently, like they have been testing it and they have been keeping it maintained with the hope to open it. But also, the border between California and Nevada does not get a large amount. Like, it gets a lot of people passing through, but no one stays at that hotel.
No.
So, like, they aren't making any money at that hotel. So they would need to do a lot of work to get it a financially viable to open, because if you have 4 people riding the ride a day and no one's staying in the hotel, there's no reason to open it.
Yeah, there was a period of time, like early 2000s, where that oddly enough, that hotel was like packed.
Yeah,
like every time I went to it
now, like at least 3 times I've passed the hotel, and the parking lot has like 10 cars in it or something. And one time I passed it, the coaster was open, but I was just, and I took pictures of the coaster running, and we were just like on our way, and I was like, oh, I'll ride it the next time I come to California, and then never open again.
It's actually a pretty awesome Aero.
I bet it seems like just a like Magnum, but like rougher, but more like in more wild, I guess.
It's vicious.
Yeah,
I'll use that word. It bites.
Is it as long as Magnum?
The drop is bigger.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is it? The length, the track length, like 5,000 feet.
Do a fact check.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, I'm gonna move on. Can I still go tomorrow? And if I'm not a part of Thrill, the park is open to the public tomorrow, just like it is every day. But Thrill-A-Thon has certain things going on throughout the day. Like, for example, El Toro will be closed to the public from 10:30 to 11:30. That's when our ERT is. At least I believe so, right?
Sammy.
What?
Sammy's coming.
Sammy.
I'm right here.
Hang on.
I'm right here. Hello.
We asked you.
Yes, 10:30 to 11:30 is Toro Medusa Mine Train, so they will be closed to the public during that time. And then we have tours throughout the day, backstage tours of Medusa and El Toro. There's lunch with the Looney Tunes from 12 to 1, and dinner with the team from 4:30 to 6, where there's giveaways, raffles at both of them, and a Q&A with the directors at the dinner. So all of that you have to have bought a Thrill-A-Thon ticket to access. But you can still just go to the park and enjoy the day and not be a part of Thrill-A-Thon.
My flight's at 6:30, so I'm breaking out at 4.
You can miss the Q&A.
Oh, man. You're like me now, Darius.
Hey,
just a couple hours.
I was committed to the cause. I'm getting there, but
at least
I gotta get on the road at 4, and that's cutting it close.
Wow. I know the feeling.
There's nothing more to update on Barnstormer. So really the only thing to update is when the ladder moves and the ride opens, which we're not sure when. I'm going to ask about that. What?
That's a permanent ladder in the back.
Oh, that's permanent?
Yeah, did you not see that's attached to the ride structure?
Well, I didn't really look. I don't go up on the bridge.
You know what? I just had a revelation.
What's the revelation?
Colin, ask Brian, are we going to have holiday in the park for 2023?
We are. But
who said we are?
What?
It's official?
Yeah, my schedule goes till then. Like,
oh wow, Sammy, that's right. You work there. God damn it, that's great.
No, what if they just have you guys shoveling snow though?
Oh damn!
I haven't been able to go ride again.
Oh shit!
I know the day
wait, down. Colin, what did you say about holiday in the park?
It's going to be downsized.
Yeah, I would
Yes,
assume that.
very downsized.
I bet
Oh,
it's
okay.
gonna. I bet I wouldn't be surprised if there's like they're not gonna open the boardwalk probably.
Well, hey,
I'm not gonna say anything.
yeah, I know you work for them,
I
but
don't think they're gonna open the boardwalk just because.
yeah,
It's either gonna be only the boardwalk or no boardwalk because it's gonna be just like a couple rides. I think.
yeah,
They've been. I think wasn't it originally like thought to be cut either this year or last year or something, and then they brought it back because they were gonna cut Holiday in the Park from every Six Flags park, and then Great Adventure
yeah.
got to
Dang.
keep it, but under the condition that they downsized it, and so
Yeah, New England used to have it too. So yeah, they have no more New England.
We're gonna move along here. Thoughts or updates on Adventure Crossing USA? Well, the most important store in Adventure Crossing just opened, and that is Auntie Anne's. But Adventure Crossing, you know, I'm still curious how successful it's going to wind up being, especially during the off-season months. Obviously, they're building up their portfolio. They're supposed to get that indoor water park eventually, which I think could be spelling trouble for Hurricane Harbor, at least competition. The hotels will be built eventually. The buildings that I thought were hotels have turned out to not be hotels, so I don't know where the hotels are going. I hope they're open soon for the sake of people like Darius, so there's a good place to stay near Great Adventure, because the closest ones that are good, at least that I know of, is like the Radisson and Freehold on 537, and then otherwise there's not really many good places. But there's a lot of good retail there, a lot of good food there. And of course, there's the Topgolf Swing Suite there. So I don't know. I'm really curious to see just how far they go with it. Let's see. Next up, I think everyone forgot about VillainCon. It looks like an interesting ride. I think that Universal, they put the coolest stuff at Islands of Adventure and Epic Universe, and Studios just constantly gets crap. They haven't gotten a good addition in forever at that park.
Yeah.
And they'll get constant new additions, and they just suck. I hate Minions for starters. And this VillainCon ride, why? That's it's such a stupid concept. You stand up on a moving conveyor belt and shoot with tons of people around you. This stuff never works. It's super laggy. And I mean, sure, it's going to have no weight because the throughput is so good, but it just looks stupid. It looks like a waste of money. And I think that the problem with that park is that it was designed for a different purpose than what it's used for now. All those sound stages, in my opinion, they should get rid of every sound stage and completely redo the park, change the layout, and make it so that the lands are sectioned off, similar to Epic Universe, because having these random lands in the middle of the park where there's sound stages in between all of them, it just looks horrible and it doesn't flow right. Studios, to me, is not a good park at all. The best part about it is Diagon Alley. I'll go there for Diagon Alley. I'll go ride Rip Ride Rocket and Mummy. And, I mean, most of the dark rides there, they're skippable. Transformers is good, but it's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's good.
Ride's fine.
E.T. is good.
E.T. is good. Men in Black is fine, but everything else is just kind of pointless.
Yeah, the only good area is Diagon Alley. The rest of the park is just so awfully designed.
I like the Simpsons ride.
The Simpsons is good.
It was a working TV or film studio, and originally there was a studio tour there that drove through part of that, and there was just a couple rides, and there was a lot of I think studios 20 years ago at that concept would be a lot better than current studios, because had these stupid rides in like VillainCon.
Oh my god,
For example, before there used to be a Jaws ride that was
the really Jaws was good. Jaws was good.
But I think they really just could use like bringing back like the original like film-based rides that are like about how to create film and like
And the Terminator was good too. That was a good one. That was one of my favorites. But like Colin said, they've been crapping on the park ever since. And to be honest with you, when I went to Hollywood Rip Rocket roller coaster, whatever you call it, that roller coaster, I was very, very underwhelmed. I was never happy. I believe the Mummy is the best ride in that park. That's what I go there for. If I only have ride the Mummy in that park, I'm happy. I go right back to Islands of Adventure and Epic Universe, of course. So they need to revamp the park. That's what you said, Colin, right? Revamp a lot of the park.
Yes, definitely.
Oh my god, they need to. I concur.
I think the challenge is like, hey, that's still a working studio. Like they don't film a lot of stuff there, but they film some pretty big productions. And so that thing is landlocked. So they'd either have to shut down half of the park and kind of rethink it, or they're just stuck with that concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
they shut down their last thing. They had that one film studio, but they shut it down recently.
Okay, because they were filming as late as 22, right? So I don't know what they did in 23, but I knew they had productions going on in 22 because we got a nice little tour of it for one of the events. I don't know. I think they have to recontour that whole place.
I think the best part about it is Horror Nights. Like that's like the best thing there because they've turned some of those studios into permanent scare houses and they're like really good now.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna move on.
I missed the Back to the Future ride.
That didn't see it yet. I did put in the chat the line for no more questions. We're gonna start winding the stream down once I get through the rest of this chat here. We're getting to the home stretch. Let's see. Do you think Wildcats Revenge has made Hershey Park one of the best parks in the country? Hershey Park was already one of the best parks in the country, and this solidified it as almost the best park in the country.
Yeah,
for coasters, in terms of collection, in my opinion, even having been to Cedar Point, Magic Mountain, all the big parks, it has the best, most well-rounded collection in the entire country, in my opinion.
The best. Yeah. I have to say it's definitely, I could easily see it as 1 to 1A because you don't have no better coaster collection in the country than Hershey Park. And you know what? This is the Energylandia of the United States. That's just mic drop moment, hands down. No doubt.
I would second that, even though I have not been on Wildcat yet.
Yeah.
Next,
I thought about driving out there today.
Yeah.
You're definitely my favorite YouTuber. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Since The Conjuring is a Warner Brothers property, do you see Six Flags using more Warner Brothers IP other than... So this is actually a really good question because we've seen... Like I thought Six Flags was going to start distancing themselves from DC, but clearly that's not the case since they're in the process of opening 2 coasters, well, technically 4 coasters, themed to DC IP in Kid Flash. So I imagine licensing fees are not cheap for DC attractions. Obviously, they did renew their contract. John Joseph Gray would know more about this than I do, but they did renew the contract so they can keep the Warner Brothers IP in the parks, but they still have to pay a licensing fee each time they use them. And I imagine it's not cheap on top of the fact that Warner Brothers Discovery, that whole company, is an absolute disaster right now. So I'm not too sure how much further they're going to go with IPs. Personally, I think they see more success with an attraction when they theme it to an original theme and they have their own unique backstory to it. I just think they see more success. And you look at the merch they sell way more merch of the unique rides as opposed to like a stupid Superman or Batman shirt, at least from what I've seen. So I think they may start distancing themselves from the Warner Brothers IPs, but I guess we'll see. I am doing good, Brian. Thank you. And here's the question of the hour. El Toro or Wildcats Revenge? We're going to see a lot of different answers here. I personally would take Wildcat by just a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I'd take Wildcat a little bit. It's like, it's just such a, they're both amazing rides, and there's honestly nothing wrong at all with either of them. I just think Wildcat does a lot more different. Like it does your time, but it also has great intensity, amazing inversions. Like you just whip around. Like El Toro's drop is a lot better, but other than that, I think Wildcat just overall is a much more varied ride, which I prefer. And also, it's I just like it better. Yeah.
Yeah, the Wildcats Revenge. It's hard because Toro's definitely top 10 and Wildcat is too. So by the skin of the teeth, Wildcat, not much.
Sammy, I know your answer.
Toro, is that even a question?
Yeah, it is a question.
Well, Toro, that's the answer.
Toro's an amazing coaster, but Wildcat, it just does more.
More, yep.
With less.
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't been on it, Darius.
I'm working on the plan right now.
Good.
Darius, here's a question for you. What did you order from DoorDash before they canceled it?
Ooh.
Thank you for rubbing that in. Great question. I ordered baked ziti and mozzarella carosa. And your order from Fiamella Montclair was canceled because your dasher experienced an unexpected issue during the delivery. So I don't know what that was. Maybe he had a bad tum-tum. But all I know is I didn't get my food. None.
Wow.
None.
Damn.
That's terrible.
But the new skinny Darius can skip a meal every now and then.
There you go. That's what I've been doing. Skinny Ace, losing weight too. You know, I didn't have dinner yesterday.
Those restraints.
Yes, from Japan. When we go to Japan, we gotta be skinnier.
Need to be
Gotta have more muscle, and you gotta be skinnier. Right, get the stomach down.
Oh, are you guys going to Japan?
Maybe.
We're
all
always
of us
planning. I just came back from Australia, man.
Wow.
You want to go
All right,
to
we're gonna
Japan?
move on to the next question.
Who wants to go to Japan?
Yeah.
I feel like they should convert Green Lantern to a sit-down. So the issue with that is, of course, Medusa. I personally think hang on, Ace. I personally think Green Lantern's a really good ride. I know a lot of people disagree, but if you know how to ride a stand-up coaster, you can definitely enjoy the ride. Of course, I think it would be better suited with a sit-down train, whether it be like Rougarou or Medusa, or even something like Incredible Hulk or Kumba. But I don't think it's going to happen. If anything, they're just going to tear Green Lantern down, if you ask me, which I find unfortunate because it's a ride with an excellent layout. But I guess we'll see what happens.
Colin, whatever you have to start an explanation with, as long as you know how to ride this coaster, besides sitting in and putting your harness on, that's already a bad start, man.
Well, you don't sit on it.
That thing hurts so bad.
So what do you think of Riddler at Magic Mountain?
Riddler is smoother than that thing.
It is way smoother than that. It's the best stand-up ever. Come on now. Since 2006.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been going on it since 2006.
Awesome. That thing was doomed when it was relocated, man. That thing hurts so much. Like, if I go on it, it has to be my last ride of the day.
You know what? Did you ride Chain, Darius, like I did in 2009 when it was in Kentucky? Did you see this? That it was so much more smoother, back to back rides. I got it 3 times in a row.
You cannot relocate those things, man.
No, you can't. That destroyed the ride.
No.
Destroyed.
We're going to move on because we want to start winding the stream down. I think they should put up signs for the 50th where old coasters used to stand. I agree with that. I think it'd be really cool to see like Ultra Twister and Viper on top of the Toro sign, have Rolling Thunder sign brought back. I think that'd be really, really cool. What are all your favorite amusement parks? I'm just going to do our number one. Mine is Silver Dollar City. Darius?
Fuji-Q Highland.
Ace?
Kings Island and Magic Mountain.
Sammy?
Knott's Berry Farm.
Jack?
I agree with Sammy.
Wow, that's a rarity.
Wow, that is a rarity.
Do you think it is worth it to go to the 50th anniversary next year? Absolutely. From what I have been told and what I've been hearing, the park has an absolutely massive celebration in store for the 50th, and it'll probably be the best year to visit the park. What's your guys' least favorite coaster at Cedar Point? Excluding the kid coasters, I'm probably going to have to go with Corkscrew. I used to think Corkscrew is not that bad, but then I got another ride on it, and it just destroyed me, so I'm not riding it again.
Darius?
I always forget the name of this coaster. That's how much I hate it. It's
Iron Dragon?
No.
Cedar Creek?
No, all the way in the back. Twin dual or dual.
Gemini?
I hate Gemini.
I love Gemini.
Yeah, Gemini is great.
Got no use for it.
Oh,
you have not done the dollar challenge then.
Well,
I'm like,
I'd have to say. Oh, sorry. Oh,
go ahead.
I would have to say Magnum XL is the worst. No, I'm joking.
All right.
It would have to be Corkscrew. I'm joking.
Two of my favorite arrows being slandered like this.
I'm just joking. It's Corkscrew.
You think that there's going to be some cool 50th anniversary merch, food, etc.? Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you think El Toro is overrated? No.
No.
Not at all.
Heck no. Hell no.
Sky Rush or Nitro?
Nitro.
Sky Rush.
Sky Rush?
Sky Rush.
Excuse me?
Sky Crusher?
Absolutely
Nitro.
Sky Rush.
Absolutely
Colin,
Nitro.
Favorite inversion
Oh, that's easy.
Probably the Mosasaurus roll.
Full throttle.
Mosasaurus roll.
I think I'm gonna agree
What?
with Ace in the full throttle loop.
Hell
Full
yeah.
throttle loop is really cool.
It's hang time like the one in Carowinds. Copperhead Strike. It's crazy. Hold you up
Hershey
there.
Park. Great
No,
Adventure Hershey
I'm
Park. Hershey
still
Park.
going with X2's
No.
head first
Great Adventure.
inversion.
By
Oh,
Lou.
that's true. I forgot about that.
Ace, do you remember the signs on Nitro's Lift Hill?
Yes. The Tower of Pisa, the Big Ben.
Yes.
I love those days. You can look at it. I can read it to everybody while I'm going up 150 feet, 180, 200, and 230.
Yeah.
Like the Tower of Pisa. That was so cool.
Hello, Cloyne, Darius, Ace, Sammy, and Jack.
Cloyne.
I got thank you for putting Mars in there.
God.
That is officially Colin's new name, Cloyne.
Oh, Cloyne, Colin.
Oh,
Hello,
Colin.
Sky Guy R12 turn.
At least it's
Colin,
not
sorry.
colon.
Oh my God.
It's Cloyne.
I already said
It's not
that
colon,
earlier.
colon.
Darius, what's your number one roller coaster?
Oh, God, I hate this question.
Oh.
Number one
Never
roller
will.
coaster. I'm gonna say the Donpa.
Wow.
It holds a special place in my heart.
Mm.
I'm big on the Asian coasters.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
That thing slams your heart. Like if you've never been on it, you literally feel like you got punched in the heart when it takes
Yeah.
off.
Wow. One hell of an experience.
All right, Sammy, Jack,
Intimidator.
Ghost Rider.
Ace.
Easy. Iron Gwazi.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good
and
one.
the last question
Easy.
of the night comes from Sky Guy R12 turn. Hey, Colin, are you glad your home park still has the record of the world's tallest roller coaster after we found out the maximum height of Top Thrill 2? I mean, I knew they weren't going to top
Mm-mm.
height, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Until Falcon's Flight.
At least
That's
it gave
fine.
Jersey something to be proud of.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, we still gonna have the record for North America for the West anyway. So North America, so no problem. Still gonna have some kind of record.
With that being said, we are going to be ending tonight's stream. I want to thank everyone for joining in. I want to thank Darius, Ace, Jack, and Sammy. You can see their Instagram handles below their name. I like that new feature on StreamYard.
Oh, that's cool.
You guys want to give some closing remarks real quick, starting with Darius, then Ace, then Jack, then Sammy? Go for it.
Hey, looking forward to seeing everyone. I'll be in the parking lot between 9 and 9:30.
Congratulations, Colin, on your 8,000. And also, I look forward to seeing all the Coaster Brothers, you Coaster Brothers, tomorrow at the great 3rd annual Thrill-A-Thon.
Happy 8,000 subscribers. I was happy to say that I was the 8,000th subscriber to Hollywood Studios. Yeah.
Took you that long?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Wow.
Big thank you to Cloyne for hosting all of us tonight. Can't say it with a straight face.
Cloynewood Studios.
Yeah, I'm so
Oh
excited
my God.
to be with Cloynewood Studios tomorrow. Cloynewood Studios at Great Adventure. I hope to see a lot of familiar faces tomorrow, and you can catch me at Toro, sometimes Medusa, if they don't like me.
And just so you all know, if you would like to hang out with us, you have to wear
cool.
this shirt.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a big
Where's my
meetup.
shirt, Chloe?
There's gonna be a big Hollywood meetup.
Shirt, Chloe.
There's a big
Oh
Hollywood
my
meetup
God.
tomorrow. The Hollywood
Chloe.
extravaganza.
Also,
Palooza.
this is
That
now
is
out of date.
Thanks,
Where is
Elon.
Yeah, no more bird. So
Just
You gotta get an X.
yeah, wait, Colin, can you bring a Sharpie tomorrow and we can all like
I'll write X over it.
yeah, we can all write. Actually, wait here.
Yeah. Knowing them that they're gonna change it back to Twitter.
Yeah.
Big publicity stunt.
Oh, Jack's making it permanent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
I love how you zoom in on him too.
No, it'll take a bit. End the stream.
Oh, okay.
And this
Well,
week-
guys, I appreciate you all joining. If you see us tomorrow, feel free to say hi. We'll be running around the park. But that's it for tonight's stream. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, gentlemen.